Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox writes at PJ Media.
Eat Tucker.
That was your last.
Damn it, man. I cried for 2 days.
Megan, thank you very much for that.
So, I can explain the bed thing.
If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake. Crawl there.
It's like Jesus going into the temple. He's like, I got a whip. Get out! Get out! The lovely and wonderful Megan Fox. Not that one.
Not that one. Not the weird one that drinks blood in his toe thumbs.
Megan Fox.
Megan. And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
She's the devil.
Megan.
Megan Fox.
Megan.
Megan Fox.
I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
You've never met a like me. You want to tangle? You want to go? Holy sh!
Too much cussing on this. I guess we didn't bleep it, so we got to turn it off. But it's
You pissed off the wrong woman.
oh my God, I have been assaulted when Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother.
She's the devil. Not for publication.
The story.
I'm Megan Fox. Thank you. Cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, my voice is croaky. That's weird. I guess I haven't tried talking yet this morning. Good morning. How are you? How's everyone doing? Get on in here. We are going to talk about the Tonsil twins today. Yes, that's right. If you don't know about this case, I was actually just pulling up my original article on it, which is really your best source, as along with Dave Neal and his YouTube channel. Reality Steve is covering it too. But I don't know if there are many articles about it. All the articles that have been written about it are on Laura Owens' side, because it was just her narrative. And hold on, I can't do two things at once. Why is that? All right, here we go. All right, I'm pasting the link to my article about this situation, about former Bachelor Clayton Echard and Laura Owens, who has accused him of getting her pregnant with twins after a night of I don't know. How do I put this? After a night of multiple oral events, and it makes no sense. Literally none. All right, so clickety click. Here's the article if you want to get caught up on all the details. We are live on Rumble. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm putting links to everything except on Facebook because I don't know. I don't know how to do it there. All right, a little update about locals, by the way. meganfox.locals.com. The locals is really a fantastic night of fellatio, a fellatio fest. Leave it to the chat to come up with just the right descriptors.
Phrasing.
What's happening? Hold on. I just got a text from my sister. I have to check, make sure my mom's okay. You have to update. Okay, locals. Okay, so I was giving you a locals update. meganfox.locals.com is where we have the live chat usually, but we're having trouble with the live chat today. It is acting up, and I just heard from locals that says you have to update the locals app because they just updated it. But what about on a browser? How do you do that on a browser? That's weird. Oh, my mom. Okay, so my mom's going into the hospital to do a bunch of tests. And so everybody pray for my mom. And she really hates being in the hospital. So I can't talk about my mom with this thing up on the screen. Oh my God. Jesus. Megan has technical issues. Better be on today's bingo card. Oh, yeah. Who's working on the bingo for today? Is anybody working on the bingo for today? Let me share this real quick. Share screen. All right. So, if you have not read about this case, bachelor paternity scandal reveals shocking tale of serial harasser and complicit media. And don't forget to like this stream and share it if you can. And basically, I go over all of the details. Now, there are a lot of details in this, but if I could squeeze it down to the too long, didn't read, basically, Clayton Echard had this night of fantastic fellatio, apparently. And 5 days later, the woman he was with, whose name is Laura Owens, who a lot of people refer to as Jane Doe because she's very litigious. But I have no qualms about that because when you go to the media, which she did, you lose your right to anonymity. Anyway, Laura Owens 5 days later tells him, I could be pregnant. And he's like, no, you can't. No way. Because that's not how pregnancy works. And she's like, oh, yeah. Yes, I can. Because there was some stuff down there. Now, she didn't explain how. And he was like, I don't think so. But yeah, 11 days later, she's, yep, pregnant. Yep, definitely pregnant. She showed him, the only thing she ever showed him was an HCG test, like a stick test, which several things can trigger that. You can be getting HCG injections, perhaps fertility injections. You can be on medication like epilepsy medication, which apparently she was on, and you can get an HCG positive test. She's never given him a blood test. She's never given him medical records from an actual doctor, like the doctor didn't give it to him. She has done things according to his attorneys. They say she's in arts and crafts. She gives like falsified medical records. Unhung Hero, thanks to the super chat, says the fellatio was probably great. She is crazy. Well, I can't really comment on her mental health, although I suspect it's not good. I suspect that it is that it's not good. But I'm not a doctor, so I wouldn't know. All right, so we have a lot to get to today. There are new records in the new motions filed, new orders from the court. But if you want to get caught up on all the details, like here's some arts and crafts that she had submitted in a different case with another victim, Greg Gillespie. She sent him a picture of a sonogram, again, twins. And it was taken they found it somewhere on a video from 2014. So, this is the kind of thing when his lawyer says she does arts and crafts, well, they have evidence of that. So far, I think let's catch up. Where are we at in this case? Unhung Hero, Sarah Adams, thanks for the super chat. Says the craziest are best in bed, my friend said. I don't know, but that is what we hear, isn't it? It is what we hear. Sarah, thanks for the well wishes for my mom. She's had a lot of unexplained seizures, and so she's going in for like testing, and she has to be there for I think 5 days. And nobody likes that. But let's just hope it goes well and they figure out what's going on. All right, it looks like the locals chat might be back up and working. And by the way, I was going to tell you about locals, meganfox.locals.com. Our community over there is so much fun, and I don't push a whole lot for you guys to join, but I have set a goal for myself of 500 new supporters. I am 85% of the way there. I am always shocked at how fast our community over there is growing. Locals is so much fun. It is basically a new social media app that you guys can connect with me on a real personal level, and I have locals only content there. I actually just ordered some new makeup because my makeup is really getting old. I just ordered some last night, and when it shows up, I'm going to do a locals unboxing with that and try it out. And if I like this stuff, it'll end up on my Amazon store, so you guys can try it out too. Oh Lord, wait, you did it. Homestead Dreams. You didn't know you hit the trigger on the special edition for a special. So now we can't get into the case because you mentioned my hair. And who said don't start Megan on the hair conversation? Well, it's too late. It's too late. I have a bag full of everything I put in my hair today. It was wash day. You're right. And I had a feeling one of you was going to say something. And so you have now triggered the hair conversation. Everyone's always like, what do you do with your hair? What do you put in your hair? Well, today it started like this. All right. So this is As I Am Coconut Co-Wash. This is a really, really moisturizing wash. So I use that. And I bought a new conditioner that I just tried out. It's Cantu Shea Butter Moisturizing Rinse Out Conditioner. And this stuff is great. I love it. I just tried it for the first time today, and it is really slippery, and I love that. I love the slipperiness of good conditioner. Wait, Unhung Hero says, stop talking about hair, Megan's dad. It's too late. It's too late. Look what you did. Look what you did. Well, I don't know when you guys are going to learn your lesson. But okay, you're not going to believe how much I'm going to pull out of this bag right now. So we're at here. I'll put them over here so you can see it. So there's the wash and the conditioner. Then what came next? Oh yeah, this always comes next. This is a Cantu moisturizing curl cream activator. So I put about a quarter size of that throughout the hair. Then I start with the gels. IT goatee Brad. Damn it, chat. Yep, nope, I'm gone. There's no bringing me back. This ad is this is not sponsored by any of this stuff, but you guys are always asking me, what do you put in it? All right, so you can tell that I love this stuff because it's almost completely gone. This is a Garnier Fructis style curl treat jelly. Now I like this because just a little bit makes a nice crunch. Like it does a really good coating. So I do just a little bit though, because a little bit goes a long way. And I do need sponsorships for this stuff. I know, but I'm not good at that. I'm not good at the grift. And look at how little I have left of this. I really need to go get some more because it's almost gone. But the cool thing about this is Echo Gel with argan oil. This stuff is great. You can get this at the dollar store. And the thing is, you only need a little bit of this too. So I put a layer of this on afterwards. And you do this when your hair is soaking wet, by the way. You don't put any towel on it. You just come straight out of the shower and just start putting this stuff in because it spreads around nice with the water. And then what did I do after that? Oh, it was feeling a little dry. So I got out the Shea Moisture leave-in conditioner. It's called Strengthen and Restore Jamaican Black Castor Oil leave-in conditioner. And I put quite a bit of this on because it was feeling a little dry all of a sudden. Sometimes gel, if it has a lot of protein in it, will kind of flash dry your hair and it starts to feel a little or look a little dry. So I got out the leave-in conditioner, put that on, and then I squished that in for a while. And then I top it off with Mousse. This one is Herbal Essence. Sarah Adams says, "Are you Jamaican?" Well, strangely enough, my family is from Jamaica. My mother's side of the family is from Jamaica. But Jamaican as in, are we part black? A little. My 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 grandmother, they did a DNA test, and my grandmother from Jamaica is like 30% or 40% Senegalese. So I guess that makes me like 4%. I don't know. I've never had my DNA done because I think that's crazy. Don't give your DNA to people. All right. So that's all the stuff that went in my hair today. Sarah, you're something. Why would you suggest Jamaican too? That's really funny because nobody ever guesses that unless you've heard my grandmother speak, and she speaks with Jamaican patois, which is amazing. Love her. She's got quite the accent. It's funny to see a little white lady who speaks with Jamaican patois. She's kind of like Lady Colin Campbell, who is also from Jamaica, but she's British, and so is my grandmother. They were British citizens, and her mother had married a missionary. And is her mother or grandmother? Her grandmother, I think, married a Jamaican missionary. So anyway, I'm Unhung Hero says, "I'm here for the fellatio jokes, not the hair tips." Well, all right, the hair segment is over. It's over. You want to hear the craziest part about being part Jamaican? My family's name is Harris. Guess who else is from Jamaica whose last name is Harris? Kamala. The chances of us being related are pretty good. There are not a lot. I mean, there are a lot of Harrises in Jamaica, but we're all related. So... all right. Oh, good Lord. Don't let people know you're in the chat. What's wrong with you? Well, Fairy is homesick from school, so she may be here. Yeah, oh no is right. Kamala Harris. My children really didn't like that announcement when I did some research on her family. I was like, Jamaican Harris? Oh boy. I think we have a similar great. You know what I mean? Like we have a common great. All right. Fairy IT Goatee says you're grounded from the internet, Fairy. So I don't know. She did ask me if she could watch, and she goes to public school. She knows all the things. There's just no keeping it from her. Nick on Locals. Nick likes the soup says, "I'm memeing Megan in Fort Grounds of hair care products." That will be so funny. I can't wait to see it. Locals live chat is back up. Okay, before I got off on the hair tangent, I was talking about Locals and how I'm almost at 500 new supporters, and I am so excited about that. You guys, you've got to get over there and check it out. The memes are amazing. We're going to be doing a Zoom, an exercise Zoom soon together, if I can figure it out. I don't want to do it like this, like on StreamYard, because I can't see you. And so it'll just be me exercising and everyone laughing at me. So I'm going to make you all turn your cameras on so we can do it together. And we're starting out with the wobble. Do you know the wobble? Because if you don't, that's just a dance that will make you happy. And it also makes you sweat. So we're going to dance together. It's going to be fun. And that'll be Locals only. And if you want to join Locals and get in on that, and you really should want to get in on that, because it's going to be a joyful event, because the scale is going the wrong way at my house. And so I got to do more exercise and less eating. So what are the promo codes? If you want a free month in the monthly trial, not monthly trial, a free month for the monthly membership, it's only $5 a month, you guys. Literally, that is 2/3 of the cost of 1 cup of coffee at Starbucks. I got a drink at Starbucks the other day. It was $7 freaking dollars. $7 freaking dollars. So for $5 a month, for the whole month, all you have to do is give up 1 Starbucks. And you actually will have $2 left over. Anyway, so it's really inexpensive, and you'll get 1 free month when you use promo code Maya, all caps MAYA. And if you want to sign up for an entire year, it's only, I think it's, what is it for the whole year? I think it's like $60, but you get 2 free months. So it's less than that when you sign up with promo code SQUATS. Again, all caps. I know, Laura. I know that pistachio cold foam, though. I know it's good. It's good. It's good. Did you hear about the Stanley cups? Oh my God, the Stanley cups. So I've been making fun of the Stanley bitches, you know, the ones with they're standing in line at Target and like fighting over pink Stanley cups. And it turns out that they have lead in them. Now, everybody's free. So everyone's telling me, they're like, every single one of those cups, like these insulated cups with these things down here, they're claiming that every one of these has like a lead pellet inside that creates some kind of, it's because of the vacuum technology or something. But people on TikTok are like testing their Stanley cups with the Q-tips, the tests for lead, and they're coming up positive, and they're testing like Yetis, and they're testing other cups that are not coming up positive. Now, I don't know if they're faking those tests or not, but CNN and MSN and all these other news organizations did do investigations and said, yes, they have lead in them, but the company is saying, oh, that's totally normal. But I swear, you guys, is it totally normal to put lead pellets in drinking cups? Is it? I ask you, is it? Because I just think that's crazy. I don't want lead anywhere near something that I'm putting drinks in, especially like hot drinks, like the leaching maybe. I don't know. But I just think it's funny that the media pushed this Stanley mania on us. And I'm like looking around like, what is the big deal with these cups? What? Well, Squid, go get one of those lead tests at Home Depot or whatever, and just check it out just to make sure. They're claiming that there's no way you would get lead exposure unless you broke through the seal at the bottom and were exposed to the lead pellet in there. But do you have to use a lead pellet in a drinking cup? That just doesn't. I know everything's made to kill us. You know why? Because they hate you. They hate you. And now I know why everybody wanted us to buy these cups. All right, getting back to the topic at hand. And Dave Neal might be joining us later. I sent him a link. He's welcome to come whenever he wants to. And hopefully he'll be here to help us catch up because I have a lot to get into. So, sorry, I know you hate the whistling. All right, hold please. I need to pull up the first new motion. All right, where is it? Okay, here we go. Let's make this embiggen. All right, so a few things showed up on the docket in the Maricopa County Court system that we need to talk about and what they mean. We have an order of dismissal that went in. Denied petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support with prejudice.
Denied. Sit down.
This is Laura's petition. So Laura Owens' petition that she originally filed back in, I don't know, was it June, July? It was somewhere in the summer, I think. She has now, her order has been denied.
Denied. Sit down.
And this is all good news. This means the court now recognizes that she has no leg to stand on where it comes to the parenting time, child support. Now, by her own admission, she is no longer pregnant with said tonsil twins. Although she has not discussed why. She's not told anyone how or why she's no longer pregnant after she was at least 24 weeks. at the last hearing, she said 100% she was 24 weeks pregnant, and that would then require in Arizona a fetal death certificate, because after 20 weeks they consider the fetus viable, and then you need a death certificate and a record of if it's a miscarriage or whatever. And she does not have that apparently, or she hasn't given that to the lawyers, and they keep asking for discovery, and that's just not happening. Okay. Then there is the order of dismissal. It says, and grant motion to extend dismissal deadline until 5/31/24. So until March. Wait, is that March? No. May. The court will set an evidentiary hearing on the issue of sanctions and attorney's fees in a separate minute entry. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. The court did not just say, we're dismissing all of this and everything's denied and you can go home. The court said, we're putting this out for a hearing now, an evidentiary hearing for the sanctions. And this is a big deal. This means that there's going to be a come to Jesus meeting at some point. She's going to have to show up in court and show her evidence that she doesn't deserve sanctions. And I don't know how she's going to show that she's not sanctionable at this point. She has avoided discovery. She has avoided her own deposition that they agreed to. She didn't show up for that. We already talked about that in another episode, and she didn't show up for her deposition, claiming that it was because of privacy. Oh, girlfriend, no. Just no. No.
You will pay for what you've done, and I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon you.
This is not going away, and you don't get to claim privacy. We want privacy. We want privacy. When you go to the media and you put yourself out there with a bunch of lies. You don't get to then say these things are embarrassing to me and all of that. And, oh, I need privacy and we need to seal the records. That's not how it works. Nina, welcome to the program, girlfriend. How are you? Nina Infinity in the chat. Everybody say hello. And go subscribe to her channel, by the way. Nina covered this as well. All right. So where is the next thing? All right, so we have the dismissal order. So let's read that first. All right. In the Superior Court for the State of Arizona, in and for the County of Maricopa, order regarding petitioner's motion to dismiss petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support with prejudice. With prejudice means she cannot come back and do this again. I have R04M3R. I have not heard anything. I have heard about a possible fourth victim. I have not, and that's why I want Dave to show up today, because he's been very cagey. And he keeps saying that he's being, contacted by people and that he's got new information, and I'm dying to hear what it is. And he hasn't spilled it yet. So I was hoping to browbeat him into doing that if he shows up today. Let's get Dave on here so he can talk about that. And by the way, my email box is always open for any whistleblowers in this case who want to talk about Laura Owens and their experiences with her. Let me put my email on the screen for you. I am always willing to hear any experiences that you've had. If you grew up with her, if you worked with her, if you unfortunately dated her, I will talk to you. You can stay anonymous. I will take your stories and you can send them to meganfox.writer@protonmail.com. If you're a victim of hers, again, I will protect my sources. I'm a journalist. That's what I do. Although I would say at this point, you have nothing to lose by coming out. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. If your reputation has been smeared by something that this woman claimed you did, now is the time to speak out about it and just, Don't be scared, because we got to make this stop. So please do. If you've got information on this case, please email me. We want Dave. We want Dave. Chat, please explain to Out to Lunch what tonsil twins are. Okay. If you had fake twins with her, any of that, please let me know. Sarah Adams, I am going to go over the handwriting analysis. I'm absolutely going to do that. I did email you earlier and I told you that. I'm definitely going to do it. So Sarah has been doing handwriting analysis for a long time. Now, this is the type of handwriting analysis that it's looking for character traits. And I'm going to talk about that later in the show. She has come up with some really interesting things. I mean, really interesting. It's an art, not a science. It's like body language. So it's not usable in court per se, but to me, it's really interesting. And so we are going to go over that. Sarah, you did really good work on that, by the way. I thought your analysis was really interesting. Really interesting. All right, let's go over this. The Honorable Julie Mata. The court, having received petitioner's motion to dismiss petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support with prejudice and good cause appearing, it is ordered, granting the motion to dismiss and dismissing the above captioned matter with prejudice. It is further ordered that respondent's December 13th, 2023 expedited motion to extend dismissal date on inactive calendar and schedule an evidentiary hearing is deemed moot. Well, wait a minute. Didn't we just read the different thing? Wait a minute. Didn't we just read the opposite of that in the court on the docket? This to me looks like it's saying they're not going to do an evidentiary hearing, but I don't think that's correct because they are. They're going to, oh, I know why, because they're going to do it on sanctions. So she's dismissing the evidentiary hearing for the paternity petition, but allowing it for sanctions. Don't panic, though, because the same evidence for sanctions is going to be the same evidence they were going to put forward for the paternity. So there's no paternity to discuss at this point, no paternity because there's no babies, but the sanctions hearing is going to be, I would imagine that they can put that evidence in. I guess we'll see. Okay. Proposed order denied. Matter continued on dismissal calendar. The court received and considered respondent's expedited motion to extend dismissal date on inactive calendar and schedule an evidentiary hearing filed on December 13th. Petitioner's response to expedited motion to extend dismissal date on inactive calendar filed on December 28th, and respondent's reply to petitioner's response, well, there's a lot of motions here, filed on January 3rd. In the response, petitioner advises she is no longer pregnant and has filed a motion to dismiss. While the court will grant the motion, the issue of sanctions and attorney's fees remain. The court grants the motion to extend the dismissal deadline until May 31st. The court will set an evidentiary hearing on the issue of sanctions and attorney's fees by separate minute entry. All parties representing themselves must keep the court updated with address changes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is basically a repeat of what we just read. And there it is. And it's signed by the judge. Motion granted. The court received and considered respondent's motion for leave to amend respondent's response to petition to establish paternity, filed on December 12th, good cause appearing. It is ordered granting respondent's motion for leave to amend respondent's response to petition to establish paternity, filed on December 12th, 2023. Well, that's interesting. So the court is granting Clayton Echard's response, so to amend his response for the petition to establish paternity. So there must be new evidence that they want to get in there, and he's being allowed to do that. Okay, let's see. Let me check in on chat here for a second because Jason Swaby is talking about something interesting. What did I miss up here? What confusion, JC? Woodnick is doing a masterclass here. He's 3 steps ahead of Jane Doe. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that Woodnick he's fed up with this. He's fed up with this whole situation, and I think that it's going to be very interesting to watch. All right, let's take this down and let's move on to the next thing. The next thing. Oh, I'm waiting to hear though about so Woodnick also filed a petition for non-paternity, and I don't think that the court has actually addressed that yet. So that's an interesting question. I don't think that that's been addressed, but I have some notes here I want to refer to because I have been kind of trying to put this is all, court goings on can be very complicated. So it's like, is everything dismissed because the petition is dismissed? Like the original petitions, does that mean that like all the motions that kind of like came out of that are also dismissed? I mean, who knows? It's it's difficult to know, and which is why it's good for us to go over this and actually just talk through it. And I know we have some attorneys in the chat who can help us with that as well. All right, hang on. I have some notes. Oh, look who's joining us. Look who's here. From Tennessee, Dave Neal. All right, hang on. I have some notes. Oh, look who's joining us. Look who's here.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, Dave, there's a big echo. I don't know why, but I'm hearing myself back through your speaker or something. So I just had to mute you. I don't know why, but I'm hearing myself. So like, I don't know what's going on there. It's still happening. Myself. So yeah, still going on. So something's going on with your sound. I'm going to put you back in the green room and see if you can change your settings, and I'll bring you back in. Give me a thumbs up when you think you fixed it, and I'll bring you back in. But I've got some notes here about what all these updates. Let's see. I mean, I think generally these rulings are all very favorable towards Clayton. Hold on, let me read through this real quick. Let me see. All right. Let's see. Dave, how you doing? Oh, better. We're fixed. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this. It still has me on the background. There. Okay, geez, I'm better. Wow. Welcome to Tennessee. I had all my settings set up from my old studio here. How's it going?
How is Tennessee?
It's been raining and snowing every day, but the house is great. I finally have internet, so that's good.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to go to Costco today. We're really just diving into this lifestyle.
Costco. Yeah, you gotta get in with the giant jars of mayonnaise and stuff. That's how it works.
Yeah, this is my first time as an adult having a pantry, and I will fill it up. Let me tell you that.
Well, we're kind of going over like what's new and what has been happening, and you're way ahead of me because you do several videos a day, and I've been out of town. But I just got done looking at the denial of her petition, and I think all these rulings were very favorable to Echard. Do you agree?
Well, I know very little about this whole process. So as a sort of non-legal mind, at first I was like, oh boy, she's getting away with it because they're not going to roll on paternity. But then because Woodnick was the law firm was smart enough to bring, arguing over money, who's going to pay the bill here, it kind of reinvigorates the whole case, because now they're arguing over who's paying the bill. But, that's going to, it seems, unearth all of the sort of, reasons why Clayton wants to make sure he's not paying it. Because I don't think it's about the money for them so much. I think it's about just keeping this thing going.
I think absolutely the sanctions hearing is going to have to, by necessity, bring in the facts of the case. I don't think there's any way you get around that because, like, for instance, what are they going after her for sanctions for? Well, one is not showing up at her deposition, right? That right there, why didn't she show up at her deposition? Why hasn't she given discovery? When you get into these issues that call for sanctions, then they get to put their evidence in front of the judge that says, the reason she did this is because she filed this in bad faith from the very beginning. And here's how we know it. So I don't think there's any chance that they're not going to get to put in their evidence about and force her to respond to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess.
I think it's wild because there's so much going on, and it's almost like the system's lagging. Like the judge hasn't responded to all the different motions, but there's so many different things happening that there just doesn't seem to be the bandwidth to cover this type of case in this small little court. Because I'm seeing the same thing with my thing over here in California, where I haven't heard from the judge if they've accepted all of the quashings from Chase J. Jones, who of course doesn't want to be subpoenaed by us, even though we believe that that's probably Jane Doe herself, dodging Zoom calls. I mean, how odd that Chase Jones is dodging a simple Zoom call, not even a public Zoom call, just with my lawyer, just to show their ID and say, this is who I am. They can redact that. They can just have their face next to a government issued ID. And they're saying, no, this is preposterous. We don't want to do it. Meanwhile, we have Jane Doe also dodging depositions for fear of being embarrassed and all these things. Wasn't afraid of being embarrassed when she walked her way and waddled her way into what I believe to be a prosthetic stomach. But you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Get the evidence out there. And if you're embarrassed by the truth, then that's just a consequence of your actions.
Yeah. Welcome to the consequences of your own actions, ma'am. This is such a strange case. I mean, it would be very easy for her if she was pregnant and there was some miscarriage or other event, it would be very easy for her to show private records because fetal death certificates are public records. There's no reason why that cannot be shown. That doesn't invade your privacy at all. Either does releasing medical records of a pregnancy when you're the one claiming that that you're pregnant, that you were pregnant. It would be very easy for her to have turned all this over, but she has avoided discovery all of this time. I imagine discovery requests were put in way back, during probably the fall. And she's been avoiding discovery over and over and over again. So I had something to ask you though. So you've been teasing us with some.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're killing me. You're killing
let
me.
me just
Dave.
say this: the things I've teased and shared on Patreon immediately received an email to my lawyer, which means she's still hanging out on my Patreon, which I don't care. It's like, look, I've done the math. If she stays in my Patreon for 333 years at $5 a month, she'll cover my own legal battle as I beat her. So I'm going to beat her in court, and I'm also going to take $5 a month from her. It's just a weird system.
It's funny. Hate watchers always kill me. I just love the hate watchers because it's like Howard Stern when he first started out, like half his audience were tuning in because they hated him. It's like, I don't really care why you tune in. As long as you're hitting that you're clicking on it or you're paying the $5 a month, you can come in for any reason you want.
Yeah, as much as we would like to know her identity, because obviously she's in the community, the big deal is the Chase J. Jones identity, because Chase Jones joined on October 19th. We believe it's her, and Patreon was useless. I mean, God forbid I'm the victim of someone harassing me and Patreon doesn't want to help me. Hey, by the way, an app that makes a lot of money off of me. They get like 30% of my revenue or whatever. They make a good penny off of my audience, and yet wouldn't tell me who the hell is behind this account that would link harassment and defamation directly to Clayton. I mean, this person's actively trying to cancel Clayton, and yet they don't exist. And I can't find out their billing records. I don't need to see the whole 16-digit credit card. Just tell me who this person is.
What about a subpoena for that? Can you subpoena them for that?
We subpoenaed Patreon, and their response was that Chase Jones doesn't exist on their page. Meanwhile, I've got the hard copy October 19th email that they did join. We also subpoenaed Chase Jones' Gmail account. Now, Chase Jones has tried to quash these subpoenas and at least 3 times has ignored my lawyer emailing Chase Jones to say, hey, we'll settle this right now. Hop on a FaceTime. We'll be done in a minute. We don't need to interview you. We just need to know who you are. If you want to be a journalist and you're in law journalism school or whatever, let's do it. Vet who you are, just like I vet with my sources. I spoke to very high up sources over the weekend, and it felt foolish, but I said, hey, can you show me your ID? I just need to make sure I'm not being trolled right now. That's all it is. I don't air that with people. Now, my audience can trust that I'm sharing critical, valuable information, and I can trust that I'm actually sharing it from the person who I believe it to be. We don't believe Chase Jones is who they say they are, and Chase Jones is only saying, nothing to see here, I have nothing to do with this case, when in fact, the $5 that Chase Jones paid on October 19th could crack the whole thing wide open.
Yeah, that's very interesting and strange that Patreon wouldn't or couldn't find it. That's really weird.
And maybe people
Is there a way to pay Patreon through a different name but have an unconnected screen name, I wonder? You
have to pay from a credit card. They don't take like random Amex gift cards. So it has to be attached to somebody. So let's say that some random, radio DJ host from San Francisco is the credit card holder of Chase Jones. Well, then we know, well, that's Jane Doe's dad. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be from her, but it would at least give us a real person. Who's the real person behind Chase Jones? My guess is it's got her ID all over it because all of the other sort of tech links all line up to her. The domain is from her, where she is. The virtual PO box is in Seattle. The VPN is in Paris. So all of these attempts to dodge who Chase J. Jones is, and yet the one time someone was trying to cancel Clayton, they ended up doing it while Jane Doe was. I mean, it's just like, it's obviously her, and yet we don't have the complete smoking gun.
It's interesting. Sarah Adams, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Oh, congratulations to whoever got it. Welcome to the Fox Den. Let me see. So, all right, tell me what's going on now with your stuff. Like this. So she filed the harassment action against you, cyberbullying, harassment, whatever else the hell she did. And you have an upcoming court date. Have you been in more talks about, are they still trying to settle with you, or are you you're headed to court in, I guess it's February, right?
Yeah, I believe it's the 8th. I got my refundable flight tickets. I don't even want Delta. I was going to do Southwest and get those free bags, but I went with Delta because they have a nice lounge. So I buffered it a few days in either direction. I've got my speech prepared. This is what she really doesn't need. She doesn't need me giving a speech on the steps of the courthouse like an idiot. Now, I understand this isn't some national news yet or whatever, but I'm still going to be up there holding my thing, and I'm going to talk to any of my supporters who want to come out. And at that point, we will be sharing full names. We will be sharing full truths, full stories. She doesn't need that. So am I sort of encouraging her to dismiss the case? I don't know. Part of me wants to have my day in court. The other part doesn't want to fly to LA when my, my family's trying to get set up over here. But either way, I'm willing to do that. If I fly to LA and she zooms in, then you're going to get angry, Dave, and nobody wants that.
Are you allowed to zoom in?
I don't believe so. I don't believe that Los Angeles has as sort of lax rules as the family court does in Maricopa County, because now we're not in family court. So you don't have any sort of reasons to not face your person, face your accuser or whatever in person.
Right.
So truthfully don't know, but what I imagine is it's going to feel like the DMV. Everyone gets there at 8 a.m. and you just wait for your 20 minutes, which we'll have to come up with the best 20-minute thing we can do. I can't imagine she's going to see it through to that level. I don't
I know I can't either. I feel like she's gonna fly to LA for this. I mean, she should know she can't win it. Although it would be great to hear how that goes, because I don't think a real judge in the Superior Court of California is gonna take her seriously at all. I mean,
Yeah.
the judge already said there are First Amendment issues here. I'm not willing to go out on that limb. So
I
this
was
needs a hearing.
Yeah, I was at a comedy club in Nashville a couple nights ago talking to Kurt Metzger, and he kind of co-hosts on Jimmy Dore's show. And most people know Jimmy Dore. He's kind of just a very loud, outspoken comedian. She doesn't need me going back to LA where I'm talking to these comedians. Like, it's one thing to have the law world roast you. You don't want the comedian world to get in, to comedian YouTube world to get in on this too. And that's when if this thing were to escalate any further, I mean, yeah, next thing you know, you're telling a story on Rogan, you know what I mean? And then you have more eyeballs on it. It's like she can't get herself out of the quicksand of her own lies. And yet she just doesn't know when to quit. And that's kind of that's where we're at now, is not knowing when to quit. And like, God bless her lawyer for like doubling down on her lies here, but it's just laughable at this point. It's like, you can't even believe this is still going on. And yet here we are.
So you're going to love this, because you said something just now about her not knowing when to quit. That's really interesting to me, because one of my listeners here, Sarah Adams, she does handwriting analysis, and not the type of handwriting analysis that you would do for like checking to see if this is the same writing, but this is about personality traits, finding personality traits in handwriting. And like, let me read you the definition of what this is. So this is handwriting analysis. It's also known as graphology, is a projective technique that uses the structural elements of a person's handwriting to gain insights into their personality. Graphologists analyze the spacing, letter formations, and quality of the ink trail to gain insights into a writer's personality. However, it's important to note that graphology is not considered a scientifically reliable method for assessing personality traits. That being said, there are some general personality traits that graphologists associate with certain handwriting characteristics. Well, Sarah took a look at a bunch of handwriting samples of Laura's, and she did an analysis of it. And I want you to see this because this is so crazy. I thought it was so interesting that I sent Sarah a bunch of my handwriting, because I wanted to see what she says about mine, because I felt like this was so damn accurate that it's scary. So like, let me quickly copy this over onto a blank Google Doc so I can share it. All right, let's share this. Here's what Sarah found. Let's see if we can get bigger. Overdependence upon maternal and fraternal support to have parents for her fixing. Now, again, this is all subjective opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes, but I find it interesting. 2, misplaced loyalty. She is ride or die, to be sure, whether you like it or not. Whomever she feels a true sense of loyalty to, whether it's welcomed or not. Determined to impose herself on others. Wow. Stalking behaviors, unwanted contact. As stated above, she has a misplaced sense of loyalty. Upon other people, she remains loyal and determined to stand by her man. Again, whether they like it or not. Number 4, self-esteem sitting right at average. Orientation, her thoughts and where they dwell most is in the past. Slight separation from reality by ruminating in the past, ruminating with anger just beneath the surface. Number 6, dissatisfaction in and with her life, unsatisfied with, at the time this was written, her physical self, emotional self, and is not where she wants to be in life. She feels behind the present moment unfolding. Defiance, not a rule follower on the whole, a rule breaker. Be it her finding loopholes, shortcuts, she will take the easiest route to try to obtain what she wants from other people. 8, sexual undertones. This sample of her handwriting does reflect an obsession with ruminating about sex. Sex is on the brain for whatever reason. I think we kind of saw that in the emails to Clayton as well with the, oh God. Let me show you how tight I am.
Yikes.
Garbage. Yikes. Rigid control over feelings of anger. Typically, you can infer anger, frustration, and similar emotions by how heavy the pressure of writing sample is. The darker, the more pressure she appears to be putting on her writing sample reflects unconscious or repressed anger throughout the entirety of the sample. Anger and attempts to conceal it, the sample reflects a very rigid control of her anger. Her anger tends to get the best of her and does. I
Level.
don't. Nev-
Oh.
She had a bunch of typos because she did this at 4:30 in the morning. It's okay. I don't know what the reveal. Reveal? No. Something out into her handwriting. Sarah, what does this say? What was this word supposed to be? She'll tell us. She's in the chat. It shows finite, rigid strokes and an attempt to maintain control over her anger. Very poor boundaries. This one is so good. So good. Throughout the writing sample, these theme runs throughout her whole sample of handwriting. She doesn't set any boundaries for herself and infringes intentionally on the boundaries of others. She has no sense of herself and what good, healthy boundaries would be. This person likely would present as, in a dating relationship, as smothering. Oh, Sarah says that word was evaluation. Okay, does evaluation out? Is that right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. She's too much, too close, too soon, imposing herself on others without any respect to their limits set or their boundaries. Unstable sense of self, emotionally immature and fragile. Her BX, what does BX stand for? Is more in line with that of someone in their early 20s who has a very limited real world experience, is not worldly, few friendships, and few, if any, romantic relationships that start hot and burn out fast. Isn't that something?
I would love to know more about how this is all. I mean, you know, obviously this would never be something you could probably analyze in the court of law, but I mean, did she know Jane Doe at all before this?
No. Sarah told me that she really hasn't been paying attention to this story very much, and she likes to look at handwriting of people she doesn't know before she does this. So no, she did not know about her. Sarah says all I knew was that she claimed she was pregnant with twins.
Cool. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to see Sarah, like what Sarah thinks of other handwriting as it lines up with people that we actually have some baseline on. And again, that's no disrespect to her. That's really fascinating. Yeah, real fascinating stuff. I mean, yeah. Sarah, did her handwriting show that she was drinking a Monster Energy drink while she was writing? Just carving. God, no.
It could have been the repressed anger or too much Monster. One or the other.
Yeah. So look, I mean, yeah, as I teased, I'm still kind of caressing several sources here. Here's what's interesting. Jane Doe in her last statement or, her last response claimed she's got sources that don't want to come forward because they don't want to be ridiculed and all these things. The only people in her life that have come forward have come to me. And these are people that are between 0 to 1 degrees of separation. They are people that she knows that have said, this has to stop. This has happened dating back to 2010 to 2014. The victim, I've called Clayton victim 3, Greg number 2, and Mike number 1. Now we have a victim number 0. Who is somebody that existed before. Because there was this idea of, well, maybe Mike messed her up so bad she was trying to relive this victimhood through fabricating lab-grown victimization, as I've been calling it. Well, she did this before, not in the court system, but somebody that's happily moved on with their life that wants nothing to do with this. I mean, absolutely nothing to do with this. And that's kind of hard to get people like that to expose because it was probably never as public with Clayton, Greg, and Mike. There's court papers, so I feel like they want to expose Mike not so much, but Greg and Clayton because they want to reclaim some of their character and all of that. But victim number 0 seems to just want nothing to do with it. And maybe that's because he feels so duped to have been scammed in the first place.
Well, I will say, if victim 0 is listening, you don't have to come out with your name. I mean, she went to the press anonymously and they printed her crap and they didn't even want Clayton's information. Some of them had it and saw the evidence and still went forward with it. We have all this evidence that she's done this before. So if an anonymous victim comes out, and we would protect that with our reputations. We would protect the source for sure. Um, that's fair. It's fair for an anonymous report at this point. This is one of those things I talk to people. I talk to my audience all the time about journalism and journalistic ethics, and I don't like using anonymous sources. I think it's a very rare situation when it calls for it, and this would be one of them, especially considering how litigious she has been and how she has shown that she's willing to do basically anything to harass anyone speaking out. So this would be one of those situations where an anonymous report would be totally called for because that person needs protecting.
And like you mentioned about sort of seeing a pattern here, how important it is.
Yeah.
Also, a source that would be not a victim zero, but a non sort of intimate source had the same thing happen to them by her, threatening of suicide if things don't go that way. So it's not just the manic attachment disorder that you have with the guy that no longer wants to be with you. It's also coming in different forms. Now, will these people, and I've asked because, there's been a lot of talk about a documentary in which I've teased and talked about her side from another source, is wondering if they would talk. Not exactly that Jane would talk, but maybe her parents. There have been people that have suggested, how do they get their side? How do they enter this world of telling the truth? But by maybe salvaging their family name and look, because there is an angle that a parent of Jane Doe could take. Now, do we think they enabled a lot of this? Yes, but they could take an angle of saying, well, and again, I'm not saying this is the case, but they could say, well, she's a hypochondriac and she's been put on medication believing she has certain illnesses and it's really messed her up. She's had this issue happen to her and we've tried our best, and once we think we have it under control, 2 years later it unearthed itself in another way. And maybe there's a way that at least they can share whatever the blueprint is that created this mess in the first place. But there are people that said, look, I don't want to get involved, but if this thing happens where this goes to a Netflix or an Amazon or an HBO or wherever it goes, I'll talk. You can put a black wall up on me. Face. I'll talk. I'll share the truth. And we're not talking, I played pickleball with her in junior high. We're talking people with receipts, people that are close to her, people that just they're like, enough is enough. Okay, it's one thing that she got a little restraining order. What's the harm there? Now we're talking about suing journalists. Now we're talking, it's like, when does it end? It has to end. So many people have gone to therapy over their good nature having dealt with her in the past. And this is just what we know. This is just the surface.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot more that comes out. But of course, if she has traumatized people by this, and I imagine Clayton is traumatized by this. I imagine they are all of the men who went through this are traumatized. I mean, she did a TEDx talk about one of them, accusing him of horrible domestic violence. These are things you don't get over, that kind of accusation just, easily. So if this is like her MO, that she traumatizes you with these false allegations, it will be more difficult for people to come out and talk about it.
Yeah, and you can hear someone's voice change on a dime when they start to relive these moments. And I've talked to some of these people where they go, yeah, they're fine and cool and everything. I mean, I even had one source get on FaceTime with me, and you could see the moment of relief when my face popped up and they said, oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be her. Like they thought that it was some twisted way. Right. And it's like, does that sound crazy? Well, maybe, but situations like this make people wonder.
She's given them that fear. That fear is real. That fear is real.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that. And I said, just so you know, as fearful as you might have been that I would have been her, I need to check your ID to make sure that you are who you say you are, because this is just the world we're all in, where we're trying to find reality here. We're just in this weird free for all. And I still, to this point, I go, was that source on hers. And I go, maybe my source was actually on her side and she was trying to get me to say something that she could then sue me for. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy what she makes you feel because of all of the threats in different directions. And like I said, Saturday morning, I share some information on Patreon, still trying to keep it a little, I'm still working on the video I'm going to make around it all. But that information was something that led her to email my attorney right away. And it's like, what do you even like? Why? You know what I mean? When you hear some of the information,
what was the email about? Just threatening more action, or
I'll tell you what my lawyer told me, because I didn't even ask him to see it, because quite honestly, I can't read those emails.
Yeah.
Like those things, they really do like throw you for a loop here. So my lawyer said this. Just give me a second here. We haven't, I'm trying not to talk too much to him because I'm like, oh boy, he's just billing me a lot here.
Right. Every phone call, every voicemail, every email, they're billing. It's a great racket if you can get into it. Tell you what.
He said this on Saturday. First text I got in a week. So I don't know what you found, but it set her off. She's back to emailing me directly about this number 0. And then the other part, which I'm not going to say because it's in the Patreon, but you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about. I'm just not, before I got to package it together with a little more information before I make a video. I'll tell you afterwards, but it's just, you'll know when I tell you. I'm trying to work behind the scenes to get some footage or things that might exist before she ends up getting it deleted.
Sure.
But, chances are it's in a vault somewhere, and we're just trying to find the code.
Well, Liz, speaking of Liz Neptune, hey Liz, how are you today?
Hey,
Hope
Liz.
you're doing well. Everybody's asking me, do you have any updates on the Broward County Sheriff investigation that I've been doing into? Why on earth, why the hell they sent Liz that awful email? And the answer is no, I don't have an update yet. I have now sent 2 emails to follow up on my press inquiry, which I was told would not take this long. But let's see, Carrie Codd is my contact over there in the press office. And on 4 days ago, I sent an email that said any word and when I will hear back about my request. I got no response. This morning, just 2 minutes ago, I sent another one. What is the status of my press inquiry? Thank you. And we'll see if I get any response from them. But if I don't soon, I guess I'm just going to have to go forward and publish that email that lieutenant sent, and write an op-ed about how terrible this is, that they allow a known harasser, someone with a known order of harassment against them, to use law enforcement in Broward County, Florida, to harass another person. And I've given them plenty of time. It's been weeks since I put in my initial press inquiry with the Broward County Sheriff. They need to respond, and they need to respond quickly. Because this is insane. Now, my FOIA request is also, I have FOIA'd the emails. So I may wait to do the publishing until I get all the emails, because I have a feeling that there are more emails between Laura Owens and the lieutenant at Broward County. I think there are more than just that one that went to Liz and was copied to Laura. So I have a FOIA working on that. Unfortunately, Florida has what they call a reasonable time statute. And it doesn't say what that is. I have contacted a FOIA expert in Florida to ask, what does that actually mean? What does a reasonable time mean? In most states, when I do FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests, they tell you 7 days, 10 days, 30 days, 90 days. You have like a set time that they have to respond. In Broward County, in Florida, there just isn't. They just call it reasonable. Now, that's the same standard New York has. And let me just tell you, I have never received a FOIA from New York, from any government agency in New York. And they get away with it because the only way that you can force them to turn over public documents is to sue. And that costs $10,000 to start.
Jeez. But that's how I feel with my case, where I'm like, is anyone going to respond to these subpoenas? Like, or did they just ignore them? Does Google just go, oh, nice subpoena, gone?
Pretty much.
What? You know what I mean? And if it's not a case that has the celebrity, just a grand, you just get to see even though Clayton is enough of a name that this has been bumped into LawTube and all these other places, you still get to see the judges going, look, I got stacks of this things to deal with. No. So the fact that Clayton's case actually has the extended dismissal, I think is huge for them to be like, okay, let's just keep seeing this one through. Because God knows, I mean, it's like, sure, is this going to delay? Is this going to make this case take up a little bit of extra time? Yeah. But how many other cases has she brought upon, this court system that continue to just, milk all the resources? And what's really interesting? I was talking to my wife in the shower, as you do when you catch up on these topics. And I was like, what's interesting about the Clayton case is that the new text messages that were revealed in this thing that kind of dropped over the weekend show her gameplay. I've had people with pregnancy scares in the past, but you could see that Jane did the plan B scare. So she said, all right, it's 3 days. We can't take plan B any longer. And then on day 5, she emails Clayton saying, hey, I heard you can take it up till day 5. So she uses like hard sales techniques to try to get responses. So then Clayton, she sends this whole thing, we can still take it. It's a long shot, but it's okay. And then he responds, take plan B. I support that. And then her response is, well, I'm not just going to do it because you gave me a 2-sentence response.
Right.
It's like, you get to see, it's like, oh, it's so manipulation from day 3. The sperm hasn't even made it to the egg yet. And or the fake sperm or whatever. And it's not even, it's
the
barely,
crusty sperm.
It's barely past an ovary and she's already manipulating. And then after the plan B thing, she'll then use abortion over the head. She went all the way up to late abortion. She just keeps on going down the list of where she can control. Sorry, Jane, we didn't have sex or fake sex. You can't control me. But for these other guys, they were just chumps. And people would argue, some said, I don't think Clayton ever believed her. I absolutely think he believed her. It's called gaslighting. And now we get to see how it actually works. His reality was twisted and distorted to go, I saw the pregnancy test with my own eyes. Maybe she is pregnant. Like you can see, and then she uses that information to see even Clayton believed me. And then she uses it all to manipulate everyone else. It's a masterclass in gaslighting.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of, those new texts that you're talking about, was that in Woodnick's response to her motion for the response to motion for sanctions?
Yeah. You know what? I try
haven't read
not
that
to
one
read
yet.
them. Oh, I try not to read them beforehand because, and these ones were, I think I ended up having to make a 36-minute video on Saturday morning. Absolutely wild, just wild, because it's like you already watched the crazy movie and now this is the prequel. We already saw the crazy abortion manipulation. I'll do this if you do this, sign a contract, this and that. But these text messages go back to day 3, day 5. I mean, she's literally messaging him from day 5.
May 25th. So they hooked up on what day?
He probably hasn't even showered yet since their hookup at this point. Like, that's
I hope he did.
That's where they're at here.
Oh, this is May 25th. So they hooked up on the 20th. So
I believe the 20th.
5 days later. And I can't believe that some of the stuff I'm going to have to read. I'm going to have my beep button on the ready. Let's see. Where's my swearing button? But no, that's music. Wrong button. There it is. All right. What the? All right, that works. All right, here we go. You didn't hear me swear, did you, folks?
Nope.
Okay, here we go. All right, I have one final thing to say that I think you might. One final thing, just one.
Last offer, 20% off. I mean, read everything she's saying as if she's trying to sell you a car. I mean, she's literally like, "Don't walk out of here." One last final sale.
What? I have one. If only this were her final thing, right?
May 25th. This is her final thing she had to say, May 25th. I wish I could go back in time and go, Clayton, boy, you're just getting started.
Oh, God, that I think you might find important and have nothing to lose by sharing it with you. I have been in a dark place. I like how it's in quotation marks. As I said yesterday, and emotionally tortured since we hooked up because I felt like I didn't know how to bring this up to you. But at this point, I might as well. I have not been on birth control since what happened to me about 15 months ago. There hasn't been a reason since, as I said, I hadn't done anything with anyone since then. Being sexually responsible was not on my radar after taking the gummy and our clothes coming off. Oh, she took one too?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay. When I went to the bathroom afterwards, some of your were down there. In all honesty, I was planning to take plan B when I got home. But then, oh, and this is such a crazy argument. But then, when you said you were going to church, I realized you had a strong faith base as well and questioned whether or not it was a sign that I should. That's so
She's
manipulative.
now angered the black community. She's angered the community of moms, and she's angered religious people. She's using any tool she can.
It's so manipulative to say that. I mean, it just is. Then, after we talked in the car, I felt even more so like both of us had a deep belief in God and like it was a sign I should just leave it up to him and not buy it.
By the way,
Obvi-
God showed me this case, and God's actually promoting my YouTube channel. So,
God is up to his eyeballs in this case. God showed it to me too.
there you go.
God led me to your channel, Dave. And because all of these things are, cosmically ordered. Like that's just how it works.
God
So
is in my Patreon at the premium tier. He's a premium tier member.
obviously, my mind has ping-ponged about this since then. Can you imagine getting a text like this? Is a wall of text.
This is why this is why his response is so brilliant, because the best thing you can do to crazy is short. Just quick. Short.
Obviously, my mind has ping-ponged about this since then, and you were emphatic about me not bringing up anything that wasn't professional or friend-like, of which the situation is neither. I desperately wanted to figure out how to bring it up to you and thought that if we could just get together and talk openly, we could. But you didn't want that until a deal closed, which would be too late to take it. I wanted to ask you how you felt about me taking it from a religious standpoint, but we didn't get a chance to. Clearly, I was factoring in things that you weren't that made me panic and led to a total breakdown in communication. Oh my god, my throat's going dry reading this. That's how long it is. My podcast had a fertility test kit as a sponsor. Oh, now we have it. Now we know. Remember when she said she had a fertility clinic come in?
Yeah,
Is this it?
must be.
So she got a fertility test kit from a sponsor of her podcast, her very boring podcast.
I guess we could find out who that fertility test kit is and see if any of those ingredients would make you test positive for pregnancy. Because don't they say some fertility testing can lead you to test positive?
I don't know. I've never done anything like this because I'm very fertile and I get pregnant at every time I'm not careful. So
There you go.
I've never had to go to get a fertility test. I don't know how it works. My husband looks at me funny and I get pregnant. So
But
I'm-
boy,
I'm
the blue to gray ratio here. I mean, this is not a teeter-totter of a healthy relationship. This is a novel meets a quick, holy hell.
It's a most effective. Wait, I know I am fertile at this point from my and this is just 5 days after the hookup. She knows she's fertile and she's already priming him, grooming him for the I am pregnant thing. Wow.
But not if he talks to her in person in good faith, in which case she'll take the plan B. So this is really his fault.
Right. This is all his
for
fault. At this point, from my overwhelming research on Plan B since Sunday, it's most effective 3 days after, but can still work 5 days out, meaning this is the last day. Last day, fire sale,
Final sale offer.
going out of business.
Clearance.
And it have a hope of working if it needs to. If you have any thoughts about this, I'm open to hearing you out, and only if you are kind and respectful. And this woman thinks that she can control other people. This has been extremely stressful on me. If I don't hear back from you, I'm not going to take Plan B. You're obviously free to think that I'm full of shit, but I'm not. Well,
bullshit.
but I'm not. I'll take it as a sign that you don't care what happens either way and will just allow God's will, whatever that is, to be the determining factor. If I do test positive in a few weeks, though, there is a 0% chance of it being anyone's but yours. I'd take any test to prove it. And at that point, any input from you won't matter. Take The plan B. I support it.
Look, brevity is a virtue, and some of the best responses to trolls are just a quick bink. But by the way, look, she knows she's going to test positive. So she already knows whatever's going on in the urine is testing positive. She's so confident from day 5 after giving a blowjob that she's going to test positive. So, I mean, we see, look, in no situation ever, yes, sure, some people accidentally get knocked up, they slip one by the goalie, they were on birth control, those things happen, but they don't happen in this order where she called this out from like day 1. This is premeditated.
Yeah, definitely. Nina, thanks for the disclaimer. We should definitely put this out there. Disclaimer, you can't get pregnant by looks from your husband. We should probably say this out loud, that was a joke, because Laura may then, she may go back and say, well, it wasn't the fellatio, but he looked at me funny. And, then she has proof that I said it. So yes, that was a joke. And I should be more clear. Kids, sex education is important. And I think that the system failed Laura. And we should do better than that here. Here she comes back with her wall of text. You have been really dismissive of my thoughts and feelings, and it's a bigger thing for me to think about now than it was when it originally happened. After all, I do want to have kids. I'm not basing what I'm doing off a 2-sentence response.
This is what's so funny. She moves the goalposts here. Initially, she was like, should I take plan B? He's like, yeah, take it. She's like, well, not with such a short response. It's like, this is why later on she starts to put into her contract, date with intention, because apparently in her contract with Mike, he probably went to Iceland so that she would have the abortion or whatever the hell went down. And that wasn't enough for her. So now it's date with intention. And then what happens after a week of them dating? And Clayton's like, look, we tried this out. I don't feel like it works well. My guess is she would say, you didn't try hard enough. We're having the kid. You know what I mean?
Right,
so it's like there's always a contract. And earlier, I didn't drop it in, but earlier you can see Clayton's like, look, as long as I'm your realtor, we can't be doing this. He's just probably, letting her down gently. So she's using money to like manipulate him. I can't believe you're going to turn down the commissions that come. And it's like, what? The guy, this is how it's like, how to know if a guy's not into you when he doesn't want a $55,000 commission. And he's like, you know what? I don't need the money that bad. I'd rather be single, broke on a sidewalk than deal with you any longer.
Debbie No Way says, hi, Dave. Joined your Patreon last week and so glad I did.
Oh, she picked a good time to join. It's just been pretty wild over there.
I bet. I've been wanting to join. I'm like, maybe I should join. I need to get the inside info. Mazza says, ooh, yeah. Megan, anything more about Liz Neptune? Yep, I did hit that. So thank goodness. We're still working on that. Mazza, thank you for the super chat. Says she takes 5% truth and says it with 100% conviction.
You know what?
Yeah,
that's the perfect way to put it. I always say this with stand-up comedy. You just have, as a comedian on stage, you have to believe your joke is funny. She would be good at comedy if she's so fucking committed to the bit. You know what I mean? She's just like so into it that's just like impressive from a comedic level. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to, let people know you're pregnant.
Right. Unhung Hero, thanks for the super chat, says, I can fix her.
Wrong. You are fake news.
No, you can't. You cannot fix her. Gentlemen, you cannot fix these ladies. Stop thinking you can fix her. This is not fixable without serious therapy. And even then, I'm really not sure. Let me tell you how serious I am, she continues, about all of this, since you think it was a plot to hold on to you. If you were to tell me that we could date if I admitted to making it up, as you called it before, I would tell you no can do. None of this is made up, and I am genuinely panicked. I cannot be more serious about this. When is she like, she's feeling the crusty Claytons moving up the canal, like to go to, and they're headed towards that egg she can just feel it happening. It's really bizarre that I'm not sure what I would do if I were Clayton in this case, but I think calling the police is not out of the realm of possibility at this point.
Well, you're foreshadowing.
Oh, God. Please be there for me. Thank you. Oh, my God. Look, I didn't even know that this was... I'm debating filing a police
This
report.
is why it's so good to read it fresh, because you don't want to give away these reactions where you're like, he should call the police. Clayton's like, I'm going to call the police.
Please leave me alone. Wow. I mean, seriously, did he call the police? Because I think he should have.
Yeah, probably should have. I think she beat him to it.
If you file a police report because A, I'm trying to figure out about plan B tonight, and B, I'm trying to figure out the status of my offers I made last night, and you won't even tell me if they are active or not, I will file a report with the AAR, which I am absolutely entitled to do, but don't want to. Well, she already had that in her bag of tricks ready to go. Anyway, can you please simply help me figure out these issues? Well, he did. He said, take the plan B. Take it.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't say it in a way that was up to her standard. Again, there's no right answer. We've seen multiple men, some acquiesce, some not. You're going to get the same solution, which is you're going to get a police report filed against you by her and a restraining order. You know, some negotiated and some didn't, and you get the same answer.
This is so wild. Can you please simply help me figure out these issues? Hey, Dave, going forward, you read Clayton's part. That'll be funny. At least you said you would be part of the child's life if I'm pregnant and paid child support, which makes me feel better not taking it. Thank you.
No, I would file a police report for harassment and would get a protective order. These messages alone would be enough to enact one. There has not been a response to either offer. So in 2 hours, they will be inactive. But again, I have text trying to transfer you over to my brokerage and you declined. So you have no case against me for the AAR. I did my due diligence. And it continues. And I looked into the rules for what a father has to provide, and at the minimum, he would have to pay child support, but have no involvement other than financial, which is exactly what I would do. Be completely absent. You would get a check in the mail, and that's it. You'd never see me, and I would never help other than financially. But again, you're not pregnant because I did not pre-cum, so this is all hypothetical. It's funny you're trying to get me to believe I pre-came. Laugh, laugh. I can feel it when it happens, and I know without a doubt that it didn't. So again, one more thing you're just making up. So it's important to remember when she initially went to Reddit to like win this opinion, she shared aspects of this message to him, which was, I'll be completely absent. I'll be this, I'll be that. But then after he says, but you're not pregnant. So she let go of the part where he confesses she's not pregnant and just shares these threats where all he's trying to do is like strike truth into her, but it's obviously not working.
God, yeah, Mazza. I think I've learned more about Clayton than I want to know at all. But then again, this is kind of an interesting biology lesson here too, though, because I don't think I've thought much about this. But I think Clayton would know whether or not, I think he's telling the truth. I guess this is something men can know is happening. So ladies out there, don't try to pull one over on a man and tell him that this thing happened in his own body, that he's like, no, it didn't.
Yeah, this leads probably more questions than answers here. But either way, because then some people get, well, were they actually having penetrative sex? And you go, like, I don't know. I mean, there's arguments existed for the dawn of time over whether the sperm or not in the pre-cum and all this. But like, I don't know exactly what they were doing. Were they just were they making out? And you know what I mean? Like, too many visuals, didn't ask for it.
Didn't ask for
the more
this.
important thing that I see here is that these are the parts. And again, when I first saw this story, you can go back to like one of my first videos. I like to read text messages just like everyone else. She was quoting text messages and then sharing them. I don't do quotes without the full context. Now that we see the context, he goes, but again, you were not pregnant. So at this point, whatever, I think we're still on May 25th or 26th here. At this point, he's not buying it. He hasn't seen her pregnancy test yet.
I didn't know that you didn't withdraw my offers.
Phrasing?
You said I would have to resign or resubmit, which I didn't want to do resign, not resign, because I didn't want to do, and then I wouldn't be taken seriously. I wanted to keep them active since we signed a contract. I emailed you this afternoon to get an update. No response. I just emailed your agency prior to your response to ask the status. Please keep me posted on it and tell me how I can make a counteroffer. I have also checked into it with an attorney. So if you want to challenge me on it being an AAR violation, go ahead. It is. That's pretty awful about what you said you would do as a 30-year-old man to an innocent child, especially since no, it isn't. No, because this.
And by the way,
is...
she can just go back into business and she just very quickly goes, well, let me know. I'll put in an offer. And then all of a sudden it's just like two different things are happening here. It's just wild.
It is wild, especially since I know your reputation is important to you. That right there is a threat. This is a threat right here, especially since I know your reputation is important to you. I mean, she's already threatened to go to the council or whatever, the board for realtors. Now she's threatening his reputation. I mean, this is blackmail. Mine is too, and I would be a great mom. No, ma'am. No, you wouldn't. No, that's bullshit.
Bullshit.
But how funny is it though? She's at least smart enough to know that if she pursues a guy and blows a guy who's also her realtor, there is a sort of legal obligation there. So it's very interesting. I don't know if she always goes after realtor types or what her deal is, but a lot of what ties this together before she goes full blown, like, I'll ruin you, like on a defamation level, is this like, all right, you got to do my deal or else, and then she dangles the money, the commissions. It's like, wow, it's just a wild manipulation on several different fronts.
I'm not sure this is legal. I don't think any of that is legal. I think you could absolutely say that is blackmail, that is extortion. I think the legal term is extortion. And I wonder if there's any law enforcement that would actually go after her for it. Probably not. They have got murders to solve,
Yeah.
All I have asked you for is kindness, as I figured it out tonight. And it was of some sort. I don't know the difference between types of, but I know what I felt years ago when I was on the pill and my ex inside me, and it felt like that to me. I know what I felt in and around my oh my god, sex. I can't. Which would be the ultimate landing spot for it. Your face.
How about that for some merchandise? It's like Clayton's face, and then it says "ultimate landing spot." I don't know. I don't know if that one's going to sell. I don't know if that's going to sell on Etsy or not.
Don't try to portray me as some nut job just because it makes you feel better. Well, especially because he could end up with an $83 million defamation suit for that. I think. I think that's what Donald Trump called that other nut job, and they just gave her $83 million. I didn't know nut job, by the way, was a defamatory statement. I think that's a protected opinion, but I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I know, I'm starting to get worried about calling anybody a nut job now, and I never was before. I understand that we are both fired up because this is a highly emotional topic, but this doesn't need to be a nasty fight. We can talk civilly about me ruining your life. Sorry, I added that. We can talk civilly about this.
And then she shares what apparently are screen grabs of what he said to her. My guess is she shares these just so he knows that that documented them for whatever blackmail she's going to use. I don't know. I don't know why else she would show that she shared them.
Oh God, I missed this.
Right? I mean, what else is that? Those are screen grabs that she then sent to him.
Did. No, she's letting him know, hey, I have these screenshotted. I'm going to use them. I have questions, says nut job. No pun intended. That's a good one. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
All right. Unhung Hero says, sounds like she and Vince McMahon should meet. Oh, have you read that lawsuit, Dave?
Just the not the lawsuit itself, but the story. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Have you seen the text messages?
No.
Oh, dear God. Look up the text messages, Dave. Look up Vince McMahon's text messages to that woman.
You can't let these old guys text. I mean, it's just...
There should be some kind of protective law against that. Tug. Oh, my God. Tug's here. Tug.
By the way, when I was talking to Kurt Metzger about this story, again, comedian who was on the Jimmy Dore show, they followed Tug for all of the obviously all of the Johnny Depp stuff, as he's does great coverage. But their minds were blown because obviously with the Johnny Depp story, it was national news. But with this, he couldn't believe that people like you guys were actually covering it because it is such a niche and bizarre story, but it's like, this is where you pounce from in the niche and bizarre world.
I always find these little niche stories that interest me because I'm really not interested in what the mainstream press wants us to know about, because it's all so packaged and pre-planned, and there's always some narrative behind it. I'm more interested in the stories they don't want to tell. I think that the stories that the main press won't tell are the more interesting stories. So if they're all focused on one thing, I'm like, what are they not focused on? Because that's the thing they're probably trying to distract you from. And I think this is one of those stories. I think there's so many things here about our culture and about everything from dating culture to how we view false allegations, to how many people can get away with this and why. I just think there's a lot of interesting questions that we need to talk about, we need to bring out to the light so that actual victims can get the space they need to be heard. This woman is taking up their space and it's making me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, this is just the one that made publicity. I mean, how many are out there, not just her, but people that have, manipulated these court systems that realize like they have full protection from
because they're not famous and nobody cares. And so like, it's just, and these judges aren't really paying attention and they're not really looking at the evidence. And they're just, it's a system that they're grinding people through like a meat grinder, and nobody cares what the trauma and PTSD of it all is to some of these people. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. Watcher says, what's the agenda behind the Vince story? I don't know. Well, I think frankly, after reading the lawsuit, it sounds to me like he should have paid her the money he owed her. He owed her $3 million. He only paid her $1 million, and he needs to pay her the other $2 million. And if he had paid her the other $2 million, she probably never would have come forward, because she signed an NDA for $3 million and he didn't pay her the other $2 million. Big mistake. Should have paid, Vince. Should have paid. All right. Laura continues. I would not do it unless you filed something against me. But if anyone had a right to file for an order of protection, had reason for worry, it would be me. You are being nothing but cruel. I didn't hear anything cruel in what he said. You were saying that if I said I made this all up, fine. But if I said I actually was worried about about being pregnant, you would block me. And then you're telling me you would be this horrible father to try to convince me to not take Plan B. No, he says she should take it. All the while, you're still technically my realtor for another 45 minutes. 45 minutes, Dave. There's
final
45
offer.
minutes.
You've got 45 minutes before I have the baby.
And I doubt you'd even tell me if my offer was accepted. I watched about half an hour of clips today from The Bachelor for the first time. Don't you have some information about that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, we sure do. We sure
When
do.
is that coming out? I want to know. Give us the dirt.
I'm trying to get video, which I don't have, but okay.
Work faster.
I'll share this with you guys. I'll share this with you. I have a source that tells me she submitted for the show. And that's what I talked about in part on my Patreon on Saturday, which is that she can't claim she doesn't know anything about the show when she tried to be on it. Now, maybe she might say, well,
awesome.
I haven't watched it in a few seasons. I don't know anything about Clayton. That's fine. But you can't say, oh, I didn't even watch the show. I wasn't in it for that reasons, when clearly she wanted to be on the show. And that source says, hey, not different from most people in there. She was in her early 20s at the time when she submitted. But people are pretty obsessed with their appearance and are seeking attention. And there's a way to do it the right way, which is do something so notable people talk about it because, oh, you're really great at podcasting. Oh, you're a good freestyler. You play acoustic guitar. His Wonderwall is so amazing. Whatever it is, but to do it for these reasons, to have people talk about you because you're infamous, not exactly what she was probably going for.
I just want to throw this out there. If Bachelor Nation, if you're listening, ABC Bachelor producers, I would love to see Laura Owens on that show. Make her the Bachelorette, for God's sake. I mean, you've done terrible things to people for years. It's not like they care about the contestants and their happiness at all. So there's a saying for a reason that the devil works hard, but Bachelor producers work harder.
Yeah.
Put her on the show.
Well, they always
I
have
would watch the hell out of that.
They always have that group date where they do like a lie detector test. She got sick that day. She's a little sick. She's not going to be, she's quashing the lie detector test. Hey, Megan, I actually have to take off right now, but I wanted to say, make sure I stopped in and hung with you. I wish I could stay for the whole thing, but it's like, it's like a whole
I know. It's
piece over here.
I know. We go along here. We go hard.
Extra large and extra hard.
So you take care, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime. I got good internet now, so I'm here to jump on anytime. But yeah, good luck with reading the rest of these, and I hope you don't gouge your eyes or ears out or something. You can't unknow what Jane's landing spots are. You know what I mean? That's stuck with you for life.
Get over to Dave's Patreon and his YouTube channel. Make sure that you sign up on Patreon and support his incredible investigative journalism work. I bet you didn't think you were going to become an investigative journalist, but you have. And
yeah, not exactly on my bingo list here, but this is the life we're in. And Bachelor Rush Hour, my afternoon podcast. If anyone needs a nice sort of palate cleanser, we'll be talking all Taylor Swift today. So you can go over there for that.
Fun.
If you just want something light and fun, that's where I'll be. But yeah, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'll see you again soon.
All right. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys, check this out. Locals is outdoing themselves again. meganfox.locals.com. We've got a meme to share. This one is absolutely hilarious. How do I make this bigger? Come on. Embiggen. Wait. What did I do wrong? What do I always do wrong? There we go. Can I get it even bigger? All right. Plan B, one step, emergency contraception. We're here for you when you need blackmail. Plan B, one step, faster than a custody battle. Laura Owens approved. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Do I have a button for that? I feel like I need a cheering button, which I do not have. Shoot. No, I don't have one. That's really funny. Oh, that's a good one. You guys, Locals is so great. meganfox.locals.com. Again, it's cheaper than one latte at Starbucks a month. You can do it. And we're 85% of the way to my goal of 500 new subscribers over there. And we have so much fun over there. I love Locals. Locals is so fun. We have live chat going where you can share your memes. We have the meme farmers over there that are just, they're just working hard on those memes for us so that we can laugh. And let's see. We also have exclusive content over there on Locals. Hey Joe says, I bought an annual subscription. Well, good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate my Locals crew and everything else. Everything else you guys do. It's amazing how supportive you guys have all been. Hot Spice Jess says, did I miss the hair shaming? Yep. You missed that. That was a segment in the beginning of the show. So you're going to have to go back and watch the replay on that. All right, let's get back to these texts. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. The Taylor Swift thing with the deepfake AI porn. For one, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming, that there was going to be this deluge of AI faked deepfakes that were going to upset people. And I think at this point, though, I think everybody is just going to have to not believe anything they see. And I mean, I don't believe anything I see. And if you see, videos coming out claiming to be somebody in porn, I guess you just don't believe it anymore. You just say, I don't believe this. I saw a news report of this 14-year-old who actually self-deleted because this happened to her, and it makes me sick. And the police wouldn't do anything about it. But it happens to Taylor Swift, and all of Twitter is, Twitter disables the searches for her name. The whole world is going crazy. But I guess maybe maybe it's good that this happened to her, because then maybe it will make law enforcement sit up and take notice that this is a real problem. But I think that the deepfakes are always going to be a very, very difficult thing, because AI is so advanced now that there's just no way to tell. And it's scary. It's very scary. If you ever see deepfake porn of me, you know it's not real because I've never even sent my husband a sexy photograph. So, because I know better. I know better than to have any of that on the internet. So, all right. Let's see. I watched about a half an hour of clips today from The Bachelor for the first time. I didn't know that you had such a cold side until today and was truly stunned at what I saw and experienced firsthand. You can turn this around and be nice. If you saw my message, I said I likely have until tomorrow if you want to sleep on it. I'm not taking it unless it's for a good reason. And don't even have it to trade tonight. And don't even have it to trade tonight? What does that mean? Does that sound reasonable? No, Laura. None of this is reasonable. None of this is reasonable. My God. This is all unreasonable. And can you also please tell me what happened with my offers? I see that N76 is sale pending at 425K. Couldn't that be our offer? If I'll wait until 9:30 to be sure because I don't want to email them if it makes you look bad, but the EMD lender is on me now to let him know if he needs to send money. I want to close on these houses if I got them and need to know how to do that if you're not willing to help. I emailed your agency a few hours ago and have gotten no response. And then she sent, what time was that? So that was on May 25th at 8:37 p.m. Then the next day at 6:54 a.m., she sends him the screenshot of an email she got saying, I never got any offer from you or Clayton. Can you please explain what he's talking about? You never sent in the offers. Clayton, if you can't answer me on 7609 North Lynn, please connect me with your broker to ask him what happened and what the status is. You might want to check your email regarding what I was told about Saturday night. Told you I wasn't crazy. No, I have not taken Plan B. Not responding won't change whether or not I'm pregnant. And there are more public avenues to alert you to it if I am, which I don't want to use. Again, extortion. There are public avenues that I can use, but I don't want to do it if I don't have to. I would rather deal with it just between us. Regarding the properties, I love how she keeps switching in between this real estate issue and the pregnancy issue. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I feel like this whole week has been a nonstop panic attack. Yeah, you've induced a nonstop panic attack in Clayton. 5 days. This is all happening 5 days after their what's the word I need to start using for this? Is assignation the right word? What's the word I'm looking for? Their tryst, shall we say. You are so damn talented and smart with real estate. The guy's had his license for like a week. So it crushes me to see that you self-sabotaged here when you could have done 1.124 million in deals in a week. I've had everything ready to go and you dropped the ball. I don't want to see this happen to someone else and will report you to the AAR in your company unless you give me an explanation as to why you A, didn't submit the offer on Lynn Oaks after you claimed you did, and B, didn't tell me that you had spoken to the realtor on 76th Street about being a backup, and C, left me in the lurch about whether or not you had withdrawn my offers or were representing me in the first place, and D, oh boy, she has a lot of letters, refused to respond to my request for your broker's info so I could get on top of these days. Get on top of what? So I could get on top
phrasing
of these days. I made offers based on your input and now I don't even know what to do. I think I will pull out
phrasing
if I'm going to be repped by the seller's agent and need to make a decision right now. This is all just too much. Hot Spice Jess says, who rounds to the third decimal? It's so crazy. Yes, please don't forget to smash that like button. You know you want to. Smash it hard.
extra large and extra hard.
All right. Oh, speaking of Ben Shapiro, I have something I want to. Let's take a break from these text messages, and I want to play you a short. Hold on. We'll come back to that in a second, but I want to play you a short from Tom McDonald's YouTube. Because I do want you guys to help the biggest troll ever, because it's so much fun that Ben Shapiro is like climbing the ranks of the most popular rapper in the universe at the moment. And it would be really funny to me if we could all make this song, Tom McDonald's new song featuring Ben Shapiro, Facts, hit #1 on the Billboard charts. It's currently #1 on Apple iTunes and on what's the other thing? Amazon. And they are headed towards the billboards, hopefully. It's got over 6 million views on YouTube and tens of thousands of comments. It's actually a really good song. It slaps. I love it. It's hilarious. You can see my reaction to it on the channel in the videos. I put up a reaction. There are so many hilarious reactions too all over the internet. Let me see if I can find the one I wanted to play for you. As YouTube is messing with Tom and messing with the song and not allowing it to trend. It's got way more views than Megan Thee Stallion. It's got way more comments than hers, and hers is still 1 and theirs is now 2. And it should be the other way around. It was a short. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one. All right, hold on. Let me share this. Hold, please. I wish that Ben would have played the violin too. Wouldn't it have been great if they had written an electric violin solo into that? Wouldn't that have been fantastic? I think that would have been so funny. All right, here we go.
If you guys don't know, I just dropped a brand new music video with Ben
Why does this always do this on YouTube now?
Shapiro. Yeah, Ben Shapiro is rapping in the video. It was on TMZ. They hate it. Nicki Minaj is tweeting about it. And it's got almost 3 million views in 24 hours. We need you. We are trying to pull off the biggest troll on the music industry ever. And the music industry is going to hate this. We're trying to get Ben his first #1 rap song on the Billboard charts. And we need you guys. If you're seeing this right now, head to iTunes, head to Amazon, and download Facts. It's just me and Ben and all of you guys. So if you want to help us make hip hop history and do a legendary troll on the music industry, head to iTunes, head to Amazon, and download Facts by Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro. This is going to go down in history as one of the greatest trolls ever. To everybody out there who decides to help and be part of it, me and Ben appreciate the heck out of you guys. Head to iTunes, head to Amazon, download Facts.
Yeah, it's actually a good song too. It's funny. And I have been saying, how long have I been telling you guys that I think Ben Shapiro could have a second career in rap? I mean, I think he's hysterical. People have been doing Ben Shapiro AI rapping for years now. And it's like it's a meme. And it actually happened. And you know, when people make memes come true, they should be rewarded for that. So please go over to Apple iTunes and download Facts by Tom McDonald featuring Ben Shapiro. It is hysterical. And it is, I'm going to love to see the music industry. Just, can you imagine the reeing happening at the Billboard headquarters? Nicki Minaj, by the way, has actually been really magnanimous about it. She listened to it. She said she thought it wasn't bad. Which I think it means it was good, because if it wasn't good, she would have totally said it was terrible, but she had to say it wasn't bad, because it's not bad. It's actually really good. Ross Marie Cato, thanks for the gifted membership. Welcome. Or no, I'm sorry, you became a member. Welcome to the Fox Den. We appreciate you. It slaps the WAP.
Wet ass P word.
White dudes rapping is always funny for some reason. Well, especially when it's Ben Shapiro. I mean, come on. Ben Shapiro is like, it's just perfect. It's just absolutely perfect. I wanted this to happen, and then it came true. So That's always fun for me when things happen like that. All right. If you don't know who Tom McDonald is, basically he's like Eminem used to be. Remember when Eminem was controversial and getting sued and stuff, and because for free speech, and now he's become part of the machine. Like the Rage Against the Machine guys are now raging for the machine. It's incredible how this happens to people. But Tom McDonald is the new one, the new and better version of Eminem, who says things nobody wants to be said. And in fact, he's getting screwed by one of the independent record companies who will not release the song because they are claiming there are lyrical content that doesn't align with their values. And so they will, and there's no swearing in it. There's no N words in it. So it's incredible that, like, with the state of rap and music the way it is, a song with no swearing, there's a company out there refusing to release it because of the content. It's incredible to me. It's incredible hypocrisy, because there's so much garbage going on in the music world. So, I mean, you don't have to like Tom's message, but it's good to have somebody out there actually putting stuff out that is controversial. It helps free speech stay alive. It protects all of us. It protects all of our ability to speak. So I appreciate that about Tom McDonald. Okay. We're going back to Laura's text messages. God, how many more do we have to go? I think we're finally getting to the end here. I made offers based on your input, and now I don't even know what to do. Oh, I already read that part. The last thing I want to do is make you look bad and report you as a realtor. But of course, that was the first thing she jumped to. Lord. But I would be a bad human not to try to help others who want their dream home in case you decide to sabotage them as well. You tried to work against me. I know you were going through a tough time, and I will listen if you want to explain why you acted as you did. Because despite your personal issues with me, I was owed duties from my realtor that were not provided. If you choose to ignore me, that's fine, but know that I will be taking action. Oh my God, she's still going. It's still going. This is so insane. Hold on. This is just craziness. All right, I'm going to keep reading, but hang on a second. Where's my... All right, I have to turn my camera off for a second. As a courtesy, I just sent you what I'm going to send to your boss, Austin, if I don't hear from you by 6. Again, final sale, going out of business. Here's your deadline. I need to hear from you by 6 because I need to figure out how to proceed from here, which is so nuts because he just told her what to do, which was take the plan B. I'm not going to be in your life. So take it because I don't want anything to do with you. I don't know what more she needs to figure out, but it just goes to show that she didn't have any intention of taking it in the first place. This was all just, a manipulative technique, right? All right. I can't get myself to send right now. I can't get myself to send it right now. I'm just extremely upset and disappointed right now. And for some bizarre reason, I still believe in you despite how you've acted. Never mind. Wait, what time is that? That was at 5:20 p.m. At 7:20, 2 hours later, she goes, never mind. I'm sending it. I need help with properties, and you said your broker is the best. You have been so cold and left me in the lurch. With the way you are acting, I would never consider getting an abortion if I'm pregnant because you can't even treat me or listen to me like I'm a human being. This is so backwards. So you want to have the child of a person who has treated you horribly and said he won't help you. What? This is so crazy. This is crazy talk. Just unbelievable. Hold on, I'm checking locals. Did I miss anything over here? All right, let's get back over here. Being kind and understanding would have gone a long way. Then on June 1st, she says, please check your email. I'm pregnant. I went to the doctor today and have explained everything in the email that confirms it's yours. So this looks like a appointment information. Appointment type, CT head neck scan. Ma'am, that's not how you get a pregnancy diagnosis with a CT scan for your head and neck. Unless it's tonsil twins. Were they scanning for the tonsil twins? Oh my Lord. And then what's this? This is HCG. This is so fuzzy. This is really hard to read. Vital signs. What you were seen for today is something pregnancy. I think that says HCG. So a urine test. Test results from today. Results something today will be. Yeah, I can't read it. Boyd, what did she take that picture with a potato? CT scan is the new pregnancy test. It literally says that. Appointment type, CT head neck. WO con and then some numbers. That's as you can see, I wasn't 2 days ago, but was today. What? Okay. And then she's in a doctor's office holding the receipt for a urine test, I guess. Okay, we're finally at the end of this. However, we need to go back up to the top. Oh, actually, the first thing we want to do is... Did we read this already? No, this is a motion. This is a motion that we have not read. But I'm going to need some coffee. So we are going to take a break because we've been doing this for 2 hours. I need to stand up, walk around, get my coffee, and probably take a bathroom break. So don't go anywhere because the show is going to resume. You can do your squats while we do that, while I'm gone. I think I will put on my dad complaining about my hair because that's always fun. I have a recorded video of my dad complaining about my hair and it's very funny. And it's 4 minutes. That should give me enough time to get coffee and hit the head. Where is it? Ah, yes, dad advice. Don't talk about your hair. Don't go anywhere. I expect to see you all here when I get back in 4 minutes. If you are not here, well, then, you're fat and stupid.
Look, fat, look, here's the deal.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's put this up here. I wanna see us. No!
Tell me all about what I'm doing wrong.
All right.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Oh, mischievous. I miss your curly hair. So, of course, for the rest of the day, it's just going to be people fighting between the straight hair and the curly hair. I can feel it.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Len says I need smaller glasses with my hair straight. Okay, look.
Well, you got to get controversial.
With me today is the lovely and wonderful Megan Fox. Not that one.
Not that one.
Was he queer or what?
Well, I'm medium good looking,
medium attractive.
I can live with that.
You can't be talking about your hair.
And I really like your hair like this. I really do. It's fantastic.
Is he queer?
It's pretty blonde.
It's pretty blonde.
It's very blonde. It's a different style. I mean, I kind of noticed the color, but it's mostly just the styling that,
just it's straight.
Is he queer?
What?
You can't be talking about your hair.
Yeah.
I have wavy hair naturally, so I don't straighten it very often. But it's a whole thing.
You can't be talking about your hair.
That's okay. I just don't even have hair back there.
You can't be talking about your hair.
It's all just a front.
Is he queer?
What? It's the weirdest bald spot ever.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Tim has a full head of hair under that beanie, Megan.
Is he queer?
No! This is terrible.
Is he queer?
Okay, that's enough of that.
Is he queer?
Nick's gay lover says, rate Nick's female guests. Okay, that's enough of that.
That ain't get it.
And this is the base color that covers up the grays. And then I get my highlights put in after that.
You can't be talking about your hair.
Okay, Tech News says you should go blonde.
What?
I had to get my grays covered up. I don't like my hair dark like this.
This is terrible.
That ain't get it.
I identify as a blonde. I was born as a blonde. I will probably never be this blonde again, though.
It's pretty blonde.
It's pretty blonde.
It's very blonde.
This color is so much maintenance. Probably a little lighter than this naturally.
You have no chance.
But it's hard to get the right color. When I go all gray, I will totally be able to go back to that color.
You have to get to your subject a little sooner.
Yeah, a little sooner. I lasted for 10 minutes. I had to get up and pee. I couldn't even wait for the rest of it.
Right now, I just have gray around the edges. Like, there's not a whole lot of it anywhere else. So I would still have to use bleach, which is so damaging.
I make these weird faces like I'm in pain when I squish my hair, and I don't know why I do that.
You have no chance.
But I tried stopping it, but it's almost like the mascara face. It can't be stopped.
This is the kind of stuff you should have on YouTube.
I will be doing this for an hour. And
Yes, I said it's enough. I don't care about her hair.
it will be like a good hour. Like, I'll be planning my day and figuring out what am I going to write today.
What a lot of crap.
But I want to talk about Carrie's hair.
Yes, I said it's enough. I don't care about her hair.
And as a curly girl myself, we don't have very many curly girls out there who are, kicking it for the girls with waves and curls.
You can't be talking about your hair.
When you slick it back like that, you destroy the curl.
What a lot of crap.
This is Carrie Bradshaw. This is what her hair looks like. Do you remember how iconic and beautiful and glamorous this was? It doesn't make sense for Carrie, the character, in any way.
What a lot of crap.
I mean, the costume department is absolutely insane.
You have no chance.
Who is this? This is some of the worst styling I've ever seen on any show, let alone a show that I know and love so well.
Yes, I said it's enough. I don't care about her hair.
I feel like I'm witnessing a murder. What is this? Look at this. I hate this so much.
What a lot of crap.
I actually found some old photos of me in New York City doing exactly that. The fashion influenced everyone and everything.
Oh my God, did you hear Megan last night?
I wasn't actually drunk. I was just so excited that I ran into her at the bar at the W Hotel.
Well, you gotta get controversial.
I don't even remember his name.
Hello there.
The fact that everyone hates the show.
That's the name of the game. Oh my God, did you hear Megan last night?
It's going up.
Is he queer?
What?
All right. And that was plenty of time for me to get back here. I love that video. I love watching my daddy. He's so funny. God, he's hilarious. I got to tape more FaceTime calls with him. Rumble says, I like the blonde. Yeah, I mean, I did too, but do you know how much maintenance that is? Do you know what it takes to take hair that is this dark and get it to that color? Because I was born that color. I was born blonde like that. I was blonde like that for about 7 years, and then my hair started to get darker. And you have to bleach it all. And it is so harsh on the scalp and also on the hair. Like, it gets dry, and I just prefer having healthy hair. So I stick to highlights these days. My husband really likes it, that ridiculous Pamela Anderson blonde too. But it just wrecks your hair. It wrecks your hair. It's way too much work, and it damages your hair. So I just prefer the healthier hair now. Megan needs to straighten her hair with a clothes iron the way they did back in the 60s. No way, man. I will blow it out sometimes, but I don't like doing heat style like the flat irons and stuff, because again, damage, and this is just the way it is naturally, which is better. All right, let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were going to read one of the motions. We only lost like 10 people. Pretty proud of you guys for sticking around through that. You know, without having a production staff here, it's hard for me to get away when I need to. And look, I couldn't sit here for 2 hours without taking a pee break. And yet Laura Owens, who claims she was pregnant with twins, 24 weeks pregnant with twins, sat through a longer than 2-hour hearing and never took a break. Yeah, I don't believe it. Chester's Foppery says Laura will blow it out too.
Phrasing.
Emotional damage.
Unhung Hero says stop talking about hair. Hair is on the bingo card though. Yeah, for sure. It has to be. It has to be. Amy says, I just joined your locals page. Yay! Also feels like we're so similar. I too am a curly girl with the same lightener problem. Try K18 for your damage. It's new and a game changer. I'm a cosmetologist. I'll have to look into that. Although I think I've really healed all the damage. Like this is all grown out now. I don't have any of the bleach under here anymore. It's been years since I bleached. But I will check that out. That sounds really interesting. Hot Spice just says, I tried naming your hair while you were gone. Maybe locals can come up with something. Yeah, my hair has become a character on this program. So it is what it is. All right. I gotta get back to the document. Hold please. I have to look through all my multiple screens that I have way too many open. All right, here we go. All right. This is petitioner's response. So Laura Owens' response to the motion for sanctions. I think this is what we have to read first. Let me make sure I have them in the right order. So this is on 123. Yeah, and then this one is on 125. All right. All right, we got to get through this. This is going to be a little bit. We probably have another hour to go for the show. I just want to shout out to the replay crew. If you're on the replay crew, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I know you can't always show up for the live, but the rewatch crew always hits the like button, and I love them. So shout out to the replay crew because I know you'll be here at some point, and I want you to know I'm thinking of you. And also a big thank you to all my mods. You don't have to be here helping out, but you show up all the time, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. All right, so petitioner Laura Owens, by and through undersigned counsel, hereby files this response to respondent's motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 26. And if you want to hear that motion for sanctions, I believe I read it on the last live stream that we did on this topic. Alternatively, petitioner asked the court to deny the motion. Alternatively, petitioner asked the court issue an order that attorney's fees and sanctions abide trial. As a precursor, counsel notes that this motion is not ripe for litigation, as the pleadings and history of this case demonstrate that discovery and requested protections of this discovery are still ongoing. Discovery is still ongoing. She's never turned over any discovery. I don't know how she could say it's ongoing. I don't know how we could say it's ongoing when she's never turned over anything. Yeah. Rule 26B states that the attorney or party signing or filing a motion certify that to the best of the person's knowledge, information, and belief formed after reasonable inquiry, the following. 1, it is not being presented for any improper purpose, such as to harass, cause unnecessary delay, or needlessly increase the cost of litigation. The claims, defenses, and other legal contentions are warranted by existing law or by a non-frivolous argument for extending, modifying, or reversing existing law, or for establishing new law. The factual contentions have evidentiary support, or, if specifically so identified, will likely have evidentiary support after a reasonable opportunity for further investigation or discovery. And the denials of factual contentions are warranted on the evidence or, if specifically so identified, are reasonably based on a belief or lack of information. 1. Since respondent's motion does not comply with the requirements outlined by Rule 26, it should be denied. Rule 26C allows the court to impose appropriate sanctions, including an order to pay the other party the amount of the reasonable costs or attorney's fees when a party files a petition or motion in violation of the rule. Rule 26 further sets forth that prior to filing a motion for sanctions, A, the party seeking sanctions must attempt to resolve the matter by good faith consultation as provided in Rule 9. Is she really going to say that Clayton and his lawyer did not try to resolve this matter in good faith? Are they kidding? Are they kidding? Like that's all they've done is try to resolve this by saying, would you please just hand over the, the evidence from a medical doctor, not from you, but from your doctor, Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley, any one of these people, please have them sign the HIPAA form so they can send us over the proof. Miss Liz, no, Dave had to go. He's not here anymore, but we do appreciate that Dave Neal did stop by. That was fun. B, if the matter is not satisfactorily resolved by consultation, provide the opposing party with written notice of the specific conduct that allegedly violates Section B. If the opposing party does not withdraw or appropriately correct the alleged violations within 10 days after the written notice is served, the moving party may file a motion under Subpart C3. Additionally, to comply with Rule 26, the motion must, A, be made separately from any other motion, describe the specific conduct that allegedly violates Section B, be accompanied by a Rule 9C good faith consultation certificate, and attach a copy of the written notice provided to the opposing party under Subpart C2B. Counsel for respondent certified that he met and conferred with petitioner on August 16th, 2023, with the petitioner's previous counsel, Alexis Lindvall, on December 27th, 2023. However, respondent's motion did not include evidence demonstrating that petitioner or petitioner's previous counsel were provided written notice of specific conduct alleged to have violated Rule 26B. Written notice is required under Subpart C2B of Rule 26. Without such written notice, petitioner was not afforded time to cure any alleged deficiencies prior to the filing of the respondent's motion. Hey, Carrie. Carrie says, hi, Megan. Dave turned me on to you a few weeks ago. Subscribed because you're awesome. Been on Dave's channel for well over a year and joined his Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. And I welcome all of Dave's audience. Anybody who wants to hang out here with us, we're a real welcoming crew over here. So welcome to the chat. Welcome, Carrie. Glad you're here. All right. Number 2. Petitioner's initial pleading, subsequent motions do not violate Rule 26. Petitioner and respondent engaged in sexual intercourse. OMG. It's very difficult for her, I hope this was a miscommunication between her and her new lawyer. Because I don't know how Corey Keith can look at the evidence written by his own client's hand that admits she has never had intercourse with Clayton Echard, because she's talking about rubbing up against him and stuff down there and blowjobs. And come on now. She literally admitted she wrote to him that he would know he was the father if he would be inside her. Oh, God forgive me because of how I feel like gagging. Oh, I'm going to say it in Joe Biden's voice.
Come on, Jack.
She wrote to Clayton and told him that, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that he would know he was the father if he would get inside of her because she's just so tight.
Now I have plausible deniability that I ever said that. Okay. Don't want to say that out loud. Ooh. Oh my God. Paul, I cannot go and give you a too long didn't read synopsis, but the chat can do it for you. We're way too far into the stream for me to go back and recap. Yes, it's interesting that this is the Bill Clinton definition of sexual well, no, it's actually, so Bill said, I did not have sex with that woman, not one time, not ever. And that's when he never said intercourse, he just said sex, which that's why people were like, oral is a type of sex. So you can't really, he should have said, I never had intercourse with that woman. But intercourse is a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing than oral. So yeah, no. So this seems like perjury. Thereafter, petitioner became pregnant. Yeah, that's still up in the air. Nobody really knows. Oh, did he say sexual relations? Yes, that is what he said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, not one time, not ever. And that was a lie, because you could definitely say sexual relations as oral. That's definitely sexual relations. That was a lie. Survey says that was a lie. Okay. Petitioner believed respondent to be the father of the unborn child, now known to have been twins. Do you know that, Corey? Have you confirmed that? Has your law office confirmed that? If not, seems negligent to me. It is uncontroverted that respondent purchased a pregnancy test, asked petitioner to submit to the pregnancy test in his presence, and that the pregnancy test came back positive. Yeah, well, there's lots of ways to fake those. Petitioner subsequently filed her petition to establish paternity. Respondent now claims he and petitioner never engaged in sexual intercourse and therefore could not have been the biological father. Despite respondents, it's not just him. She claimed the same thing. She said it in her email, the one that Joe Biden just read. That one. Despite respondents' assertions to the contrary, the petitioner filed her petition to initiate establishing respondents' paternity rights. Petitioner did not file to harass respondent and certainly did not attempt to delay any proceedings. Oh, that's demonstrably false. She's been doing nothing but delaying and delaying and delaying. M169, you had to, this is hilarious. I will never forgive Bill Clinton for putting me in the position of having to explain what oral sex was to my mother. Why would your mother need to know? Why would she need you to explain that to her? I have a feeling she already knew. Okay. If you think that's bad, having to explain it to your mother, there was an entire generation of people who had to explain it to their third graders. So, hang on a second. I have to check my email real quick. Oh my God, this is so funny. Sarah Adams, I just got your email. I am dying. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'll have to read through this later, but I want to read it right now. But wait, I'll give you one taste of it. She says, how can I phrase this? Stubborn as fuck is screaming off the page. Yes, well, that's true. That's very, very true. Oh, I want to read through this. This is so funny. All right. I can't do that right now. We have to get back to the petition. I'll do it later. I think Sarah's still here. I don't know. Well, maybe not, because she was probably analyzing my handwriting. So I'll have to tell her thank you. Despite Despite respondents' assertions to the contrary, the petitioner filed her petition to initiate establishing respondents' paternity rights. Petitioner did not file to harass respondent and certainly did not attempt to delay any proceedings. Respondents' assertions that petitioner's claims are not supported by evidence are disingenuous at best. Well, where's the evidence then? The petitioner's claims and pleadings have evidentiary support. Respondents' actions have limited petitioner's ability to provide supporting evidence. Oh, really? Petitioner should not be required to provide evidence pertaining to her privileged medical records without accepting that the evidence will be immediately shared with the public. And well, yeah, this is a public proceeding, Laura. Court is public. It's public. Geometric Designs wants to know if anyone compared her handwriting to the TED Talk note. That's being done. I have a handwriting analysis guy looking at it. He has not gotten back to me yet, but we'll see. The couple of people that I know who have looked at it, I think all of them have concluded they do think that it's different handwriting, but they said it's inconclusive because they would need, so the sample on the napkin is in cursive, and the sample that all the other samples we have of her handwriting are printed. And the handwriting people say it's very hard to compare the two. So it's inconclusive because of that. They would need a sample of her scripted handwriting, and we don't have that in cursive. All right. In fact, the petitioner has attempted to procure witnesses to testify to the merit of her claims. Unfortunately, these witnesses fear coming forward without confidentiality, as they do not want to be subjected to the same embarrassment and harassment as petitioner. The issue of confidentiality and protective orders relating to discovery are pending. As such, respondents' claim is meritless and premature. Respondents' motion is do you find it? I find it kind of hard to believe that witnesses are scared to come forward. If she actually had evidence that any of this stuff was true, no one would be scared to come forward with what they know, because you could prove that she's right and we're all wrong. It would be very easy to prove this. Again, it's like, what is the holdup? If you can clear your name, then do it. Just do it. General T says, wouldn't she sign her name in cursive? Can't you use that? No, they actually need like large samples. So like just a signature wouldn't be enough. You need large writing samples to do it. Respondent's motion is filed in bad faith, and petitioner should be awarded her reasonable attorney fees for filing her response. Oh, now she wants sanctions and fees. That is so funny. I filed this false petition in court, and now you need to pay me for doing that. I dragged you to court for no reason. Now pay me. Yeah, it's going to be a cold day in hell, ma'am, before that happens. I can tell you that right now. That ain't happening. Wow. I'm just checking locals to see if I missed any memes. Is locals still glitching, you guys? It seems like it might be, because I keep having to refresh it. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, Amy Bonner says, isn't her screenshot of an appointment enough? Yeah, she got a CT scan of her head. That should be plenty, right? Respondent filed the motion in bad faith. She's saying Clayton filed the motion in bad faith, and the court should award petitioner her attorney's fees for having to file a response. Sure. Respondent is leaking information to the media. No, it's not a leak. It's on a public docket, and any person can walk into the Maricopa County Court's clerk's office and get it. It's not a leak when you put it into onto a court docket. Dun, 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 dun. Is leaking information to the media, causing a constant public barrage of petitioner online, and then is attacking her by filing frivolous requests for sanctions because petitioner cannot send her privileged medical records to prove her allegations without the cover of confidentiality or a protective order. Laura, why would you want a protective order, a confidentiality order over the one record that would prove you're not lying? That doesn't make sense. You're the one that said you were pregnant. You went to wasn't it the Daily Mail or TMZ, People, Page 6? You went to these places and said you were pregnant. You wrote an article on Medium saying you're pregnant. The one thing that would prove you are the one who's in the right here is the thing you want a protective order over. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would you want to keep that a secret? You're the one who came out and said that this is happening. You're the one who wanted all the attention from the press.
How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy.
All the while, respondent is causing petitioner to incur additional attorney's fees, while respondent continues to crowdsource his attorney fees through GoFundMe. Well, you know what? Clayton didn't even have an attorney when this all started. He was representing himself. And it was because Dave Neal saw that and he was like, oh, this is ridiculous. He needs a lawyer, that the GoFundMe even started. And she had an attorney at the time. Laura had an attorney. So it was an unfair setup from the beginning. And he has a right to crowdfund for an attorney. This case is no longer about a child. Yeah, because there are no children. This has turned into respondent abusing the family court as his own publicity stunt. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wrong. You are fake news. Quiet.
This woman.
Bullshit.
I don't have enough buttons for this. I don't have enough buttons. You think Clayton is doing this for a publicity stunt? The world would never have known about any of this if she didn't go to the media. He wasn't going to go to the media and say, I've been accused of knocking somebody up with through a couple of blowjobs. He wasn't going to. He was ashamed and embarrassed of this. He didn't go, oh yeah, thank you, Amy. It was the Sun, not the UK Guardian or whatever I said. He didn't go to the Sun. She did. She did for her own publicity stunt. And then she came out with her name and her photo and her name of her podcast and all of the things that she did. And now she's screeching.
We want privacy. We want privacy.
That is just not how this works. This was not a publicity stunt for Clayton Echard. This was a publicity stunt for Jane Doe, Laura Owens, Voldemort, Beetlejuice, whatever you want to call her. I swear I put this thing on Do Not Disturb. Why am I getting all these? Hold on. I'm getting all these notifications from school, and that's probably not good. What are all these notifications? Hang on. Where's my phone? I have to check something. Is someone trying to get a hold of me from school? Hold, please. Where's my hold music? Oh. I don't know why I keep getting it. Thank you for your announcement of a new student teacher. Okay. All right. Getting back to it. No. Hangry Fox did not get into it with the bus driver again, thankfully. Marked safe from Hangry throwing a fit on the bus. Okay. Respondent is using this case to attempt to increase his popularity by using his followers and his public image to control the narrative. You know what's funny is that in Laura's own words on that Facebook video that she did, she said, "This is the only way I can control this situation." Those are her own words. This is the only way I can control this situation. No, Fairy, it wasn't for you. It was just an announcement that there's a new student teacher. And I don't even recognize the name of this teacher that sent it. So I'm not even sure if it's one of your teachers. I don't think it is. But I'll tell you after the show. I can't believe you're still listening. No sandwich, no peace. For those of you new to the show, we had an incident on the bus, and this is what the chat made for Hangry, my 9-year-old son. He wanted to eat a sandwich on the bus, and it didn't go well. He staged a protest, and it was a whole thing. And then the chat said I shouldn't ground him, and they made him this. It was very funny. The lore goes way back. All right, let's see. Respondent, okay, to control the narrative. This intent is clear when evaluating the tone and constant stream of degrading statements being made in respondent's pleadings and his attorney's emails, which are coincidentally almost all referenced as exhibits in respondent's public pleadings. Well, look, emails can be used as exhibits. This is further supported by each of respondents' pleadings being made public online before many of them even appear on the electric court record after being processed by the clerk of the court. I don't know if that's true or not. I have only gotten them when they get published on Reddit, so I don't know what the timing is on that. I have no idea where I don't have like an inside source. I'm just getting them from what's posted on Reddit. Petitioner who originally filed the petition to encourage, and by the way, in fact, I contacted Greg Woodnick for a statement, and he gave me one statement about the allegations that Laura Owens made against him in the other case that he was representing, victim number 2, and but he wouldn't comment on anything else. So I have received basically nothing from him except for that one statement. So he's not leaking any documents. He hasn't sent me anything. So I don't know who's got the inside scoop on the docket at Maricopa County, but it is what it is. And by the way, I don't think that it's a violation of anything to release filed documents to the public before the clerks had a chance to enter them, because it wouldn't matter. If you filed it with the court, it's going to be public. Period. There's no issue there. There's no issue there at all. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Petitioner who originally filed the petition to encourage the person she believed to be the father of her children to be an active and involved father has now been made out to be a crazed woman who fabricated a pregnancy for her own publicity when this narrative is far from the truth. Oh, I think you know what the truth is. And I think that sentence sums it up perfectly. Perfectly. Reg Angel 444 says, is there a reason I can't see the video playing error message but can see the chat going? Not that I am aware of, but try refreshing, because is anybody else having that problem? Try refreshing or closing YouTube and reopening it again. All right. Hang on. All right. Conclusion. The court should deny respondent's motion for sanctions. That didn't happen. And should allow petitioner to file a China doll affidavit requesting reimbursement for her attorney's fees for having to file a response. That didn't happen either. All right, let's move on to Woodnick's response to this petition, which we were reading the exhibits, but let's go to the actual petition. All right. So this is the response to that one that I just read. So this is Clayton's response. Respondent, Clayton Echard, by and through undersigned counsel, hereby replies to petitioner's response to motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 26. Petitioner continues to cause respondent to incur unnecessary attorney's fees and costs delaying discovery. The very crux of this frivolous litigation is easily resolved by petitioner disclosing non-confidential and uncontroversial evidence of her claimed miscarriage, as well as the statutorily required fetal death certificate affirming the same. That petitioner continues to refuse to provide this easily obtainable evidence after she invoked Rule 2 begs the question that this entire pregnancy narrative was nothing more than a fraudulent ruse to coerce respondent into dating petitioner. Oof. To the extent applicable, respondent incorporates all his pending filings and for his reply, respondent states as followed. 1. The requirements of Rule 9C have been met and or were impossible to meet due to petitioner's refusal to acknowledge respondent could not have made her pregnant. That's a problem. As fully detailed in respondent's response objection to petitioner's motion to dismiss petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, blah, blah, blah. Respondent clearly informed petitioner in writing that she could not be pregnant by him as they only had oral sex. Respondent even offered to meet in person with petitioner with witnesses present in light of her concerning behavior to discuss these rudimentary facts. Petitioner refused to meet with him if he did not agree to her bizarre request to date and explore intimacy with her. I need an ew button. Is there an ew? Like, gross. Or is there like a ugh? I don't think so. I don't have one of those, but I need one because that just makes me go, ugh. Maybe a splat sound would work. No, that's the wrong sound. That's even grosser. Yuck. Okay, moving on. Petitioner bringing this entire action, knowing that she was not and could not be pregnant by respondent, is the conduct that violates Rule 26B. That petitioner is now claiming that she was somehow not given notice of her sanctionable conduct is patently absurd. Well, yeah, it is. It's very absurd. As conveyed to her directly by respondent through respondent's granted injunction against harassment, through 3 paternity tests, and through counsel. Petitioner's filing was based on fiction. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. What is this failure sound? Oh, it's a video game sound. Okay, gotcha. This is not an instance where petitioner may have mistakenly alleged something that needed to be corrected through an amended filing. This is a uniquely disturbing case where petitioner expended judicial resources to fabricate a pregnancy narrative to force respondent into a relationship with her, invited media attention, and is now desperately grasping at procedural straws to evade providing simple and uncontroversial disclosure like a government certificate confirming the alleged miscarriage. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is what this is. Press all the buttons, Megan. Don't worry, I'm working on it. This is a... Oh, I did that. All of petitioner's filings arguably violate Rule 26B. But I like how all is underlined. Petitioner's underlying petition to establish was filed without merit and for the sole purpose of coercing respondent into dating petitioner, as petitioner was not and could not have been pregnant by respondent after oral sex. Where's my sad trombone? Without belaboring the point, every single filing in this action since by petitioner has been presented for an improper purpose. Wait, what is this? Huh, what are these sounds? I've never seen these sounds before. Oh, it's music. These are all music? Interesting. Ooh. This is the perfect music for this filing. Yeah, if you're new here, I sometimes get distracted by the buttons. Don't go. Just you're just gonna have to put up with it until the mood passes. Because sometimes I can't help it. Okay. Where was I? Could not have been pregnant. Yep. Without belaboring the point. Got that. Without belaboring the point, every single filing in this action since by petitioner has been presented for an improper purpose, such as to harass, cause unnecessary delay, or needlessly increase the cost of litigation. Includes claims that are frivolous, unwarranted by existing laws, entirely lacking in evidentiary support, and contains factual contentions that are unwarranted based on the evidence. Yeah, it's a problem. As has been the crux of respondent's filings, petitioner could not have been pregnant by respondent as they did not have sexual intercourse, and she has provided no verifiable medical evidence to support her claims.
Bullshit. You are fake news.
Ostensibly because none exists. Notably, petitioner again reasserts in her unverified response that she was pregnant with twins, despite providing no evidence to support this claim other than a sonogram stolen from a 7-year-old YouTube video and positive HCG tests, which are discussed below. Put simply, petitioner's filings are predicated on bad faith and contain allegations that cannot be supported by verifiable medical evidence that complies with Rule 2. The petitioner now claims she has witnesses to support her claims that allegedly fear coming forward is illogical and irrelevant.
Bullshit.
All petitioner needs to do is sign a basic HIPAA form to allow respondent to obtain her medical records and sign the form provided by respondent to permit Arizona Vital Records to release a fetal death certificate to confirm twin fetuses miscarried. Petitioner's refusal to follow basic procedural rules for the litigation she initiated is the sole reason this litigation continues. Petitioner cannot now claim that discovery is ongoing while simultaneously failing to comply with any discovery, including a willful failure to appear at a properly noticed deposition. Sanctions consistent with Rules 26C are clearly warranted and necessary. Yeah, where's my bomb sound? I had a bomb sound that I had somewhere. Where did it go? Oh, there's a slow clap. What's that? That's funny. Sarcastic clapping noises. That's funny. But where's the bomb? I had a bomb sound. I can't remember where it went. No, that's an error sound. That's not it. What did I do with it? It was on one of these. This is going to drive me crazy until I find it. There was, oh, maybe it was on the cartoon one. No, that's a pop. That's not a bomb. No. Where's the bomb sound? No. What did it get deleted? It's so weird. No, that's not it. Well, that's kind of a bomb sound, but it's too long. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe prankster? Ah, like stick of dynamite? No, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. I think I need to eat something. It's been too long since I had anything to eat. All right. Petitioner wanting to be pregnant and being pregnant are two different things. Despite her repeated assertions, positive HCG tests are not verifiable medical evidence of pregnancy. Okay, this part is really important, you guys. It's really important. This is going to explain a lot of the issue with this case. Parenthetically, per the Office on Women's Health, a blood test, which petitioner ostensibly never underwent, is the best way for a doctor to confirm pregnancy. So she has not provided any information about what the heck is going on she's provided no information like as a blood test. Like there's been no blood test information, just these P tests. General T just joined locals. Yay. Good for you. Thank you. To see what all the fuss is about. It's a lot of fun fuss. You're going to like it. All right. Causes other than pregnancy can trigger false positives for HCG, including fertility treatments and various medications, especially those associated with epilepsy and infertility. See also Exhibit 1. Moreover, according to the American Pregnancy Association, the presence of HCG is only a sign of pregnancy. Ultimately, the petitioner was ostensibly able to produce a positive urine HCG test is not conclusive because to date, petitioner has provided no Rule 49 disclosure to support her claims that she was pregnant by respondent, pregnant with twins, pregnant at 24 weeks on November 2, 2023, pregnant with a boy and a girl due on February 14th, 2024, being treated for a high-risk pregnancy by Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley, or that she ultimately had a miscarriage. Petitioner's HCG tests proved nothing, and her reliance on them when she could provide simple and basic evidence to dissolve the claim that she wrongfully filed this action begs many questions about her credibility and motivations.
You will pay for what you've done, and I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon you.
Petitioner's behavior in this litigation is unreasonable and predicated on bad faith, such that respondent should be entitled to his reasonable attorney's fees and costs pursuant to ARS 25-324. Petitioner's baseless allegations that respondent is using the court as a publicity stunt and that he is leaking information serve no purpose other than to deflect from her own culpable actions. Man. It's true. As detailed extensively in respondent's response objection, petitioner initiated this action, reached out to the media, publicly shared a Dropbox of her personal medical information, and continues to harass and sue media personalities who do not share her side of the story.
How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy.
Respondent has had to come forward to respond to the petitioner's public claims to protect his image and reputation and to rectify the damage she has done. Yep, this is so right on. Get her. Rather than comply with simple discovery requests or prove even an iota of Rule 49 disclosure, willfully ignore deposition notices, continues to file meritless motions, and force respondent back into court. Respondent has had to rely on community support to defend himself against petitioner's meritless claims and to prevent her from making another TEDx talk to claim that she was somehow cyberbullied into a miscarriage. Respondent continues to incur significant attorney's fees and costs because petitioner's unreasonable conduct. As such, he should be awarded his reasonable costs and fees in having to file this reply consistent with ARS 25-324A. This entire action by the petitioner is predicated on a fraud upon the court. Wow. Petitioner continues to seek out media attention and exhaust all her procedural remedies to evade basic discovery and disclosure obligations. Perhaps if petitioner provided the statutorily required fetal death certificate and verifiable medical records to support that she was ever pregnant with twins, she would look less like, as stated by petitioner's attorney, a crazed woman who fabricated a pregnancy. Boom. Ooh. That's a good one. My God. Let's read that sentence again. Perhaps if petitioner provided the statutorily required fetal death certificate and verifiable medical records to support that she was ever pregnant with twins, she would look less like, as stated by petitioner's attorney, a crazed woman who fabricated a pregnancy. Yep, that's it right there in a nutshell, Laura. If you want people to stop thinking that you are a crazed woman who fabricated a pregnancy a la fetal attraction, you need to provide the evidence to show that you were pregnant with twins. Your idea that you've provided evidence when it's just a P test or a couple of P tests is not evidence. That is simply a sign of pregnancy. It is not evidence of a pregnancy. Evidence would be sonograms from the doctor, not from YouTube from years ago. Wherefore, respondent respectfully requests that this court enter the following orders. Grant the respondent's motion for sanctions, impose appropriate sanctions against petitioner, including but not limited to awarding respondent his reasonable attorney's fees and costs, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, there are some, I think there might be other exhibits besides the text, but let me make sure. No, we already read all the exhibits earlier, so we're done with this one now. All right, there's one more thing that I want to go over. But I am not, I actually don't know if I want to read the whole thing because it is so insane. We are coming up on 3 hours here. It's so crazy. Maybe we'll just read some of it because it is nuts. Okay, so on the Justice for Clayton Reddit page, there is, I guess, Laura Owens a couple of times posted like these really long screeds to Reddit saying she was rage quitting Reddit. Like she was like, I'm leaving. It's my goodbye Reddit thread. And I don't know when these were posted. I think this was a while ago. But I just wanted to show you this so you can see the delusion that's going on here. There's a lot of delusion going on here. All right. All right, so this was, I don't know when, it doesn't have a date on it, so I can't tell. So that I should have asked Dave that. That was on my list of things to ask him, and I totally forgot. So maybe Dave can clarify this for me later. But I don't think this was recent. I think this was months ago. But let's just read through it because this is allegedly from Laura Owens to Reddit. I was not a goodbye Reddit. It says I was not a Redditor before this case, and I won't be after. The way that people have treated me on this site and seem to treat anyone really is a place of cruelty and hate. You know what? We need some background music for this. We need like sad violins. Let's see. What about drama? No, that's maybe too dark. How about... No, that's too happy. No, that's too happy. I need sad music. Okay, that's just creepy. No, that's not gonna work. I don't have any sad music. Really? How do I not have any sad music? Let me see. What about this? No, that's all techno music. That will not work. There we go. There it is. All right, here we go. The way that people have treated me on this site and seem to treat anyone really. Wait, I have to turn this down a little. It's too loud in my ears. Hold, please. We need it lower in the background. There we go. Okay. It's really cruelty and hate. Damn it. What did I just do? You guys are coming from a place of pure ignorance in regards to what happened between me and Clayton, but have an extremely cruel way that you communicate with others. I have seen people say that I should consider... Hold on, I need a different button for this. That I should consider... My button doesn't work. Oh, because I have music playing. That I should consider unaliving myself. That I am evil, unhinged, insane, a lunatic, mentally ill, dumb. Another favorite was that I've only been successful because of mommy and daddy. Oh, you want me to use the... What is that? Shit. Something's wrong. My Stream Deck just went... Oh, my Stream Deck just caught up to the beeping. Sorry. All right. Do you want me to do it in Reddit voice? Doesn't that get annoying? Reddit voice is this. Hold on. No, it's not working right now. Something's going on with my Stream Deck. I don't think I can do music and other buttons at the same time. Your words, not mine, when you all know nothing about how I grew up. None of you know what happened that night between Clayton and I. Well, no, that would be Clayton and me. When he was insanely high, as he wrote in his email to me, which I'm sure you have all viewed on Dropbox. Clayton has never denied that we hooked up. He never denied that he sent each and every one of the messages that I have posted. Hold on. We have to move over to the full one. No. Dang it. What happened? Who's got Megan has tech problems on their bingo card because it's happening again? Oh, this is so bothersome. There we go. Clayton has never denied that we hooked up. He never denied that he sent each and every one of the messages I have posted. People don't know that the reason he has held animosity towards me is because of real estate transaction gone wrong, where he didn't even submit one of the 2 offers I signed. I reported him to the ADRE after I lost out on the property, and he was found in violation of a professional code for never submitting it. Well, no, he wasn't. They declined to do anything for him. Nothing. All right, you're complaining about the music? Why? You think it's not sad enough? Dang it, my Stream Deck isn't working now. Stream Deck, what's going on with you? Hold on. I have to reboot my Stream Deck. It's something wrong with it. One moment, please. Quit Stream Deck. Reboot Stream Deck. All right. It's just not, you don't think the music is sad enough? Is that it? All right. If Stream Deck ever boots back up, maybe we'll finish this in Reddit voice. Actually, I think I can do it with voice mod. Let's see. Is this working? No, it's not working.
Is this working? There we go. Where was I? That's why he's been angry with me. You act like you're great detectives. But did you realize that the order of protection that was posted 2 days ago wasn't actually real? All restraining orders in Maricopa County are public record. And now we have to change pages. Dang it. Hold on. What is this? I can't get back to it. Hold, please. I don't have my hold music back because Stream Deck hasn't rebooted.
This is not going well. This is just not going well. There it is. Now it's back up. Okay, let's see if it works now.
All right, it appears my board is working.
Fantastic. All right, now if I can just get Reddit working. I don't know what's going on with Reddit. But it appears... Aha! There's page 2. All right, hold on. I have to close some of these windows. All right. You act like... Oh, I'm going to put...
back my voice. You act like you're great detectives. I have never had one taken out against me anywhere. I have taken out 2 in Maricopa County. One in 2021 and one in 2022. And both were against the same man. You guys know nothing about the prior two relationships I was in, nor the abuse I suffered. To see people call my abusers victims makes me sick. Although I know they both come on Reddit and have posted themselves, I would never falsely accuse anyone and misuse the system. I would also never pretend to be a law firm, which I have been accused of in a circulating doc. My abuser did that, and the lawyer he claimed I was impersonating is actually a family friend who backed me up 100% in supporting documents.
By the way, that lawyer, I tried to contact him to ask him if he wrote those emails. And I did. I sent him a press inquiry. I asked him if he wrote the emails, and he never responded. So he has not confirmed nor denied that he actually wrote those emails. But from my experience with attorneys, I've never seen an attorney write an email like that. It sure seems suspect to me. Oh, I missed a couple of super chats. Unhung Hero, thanks for the super chat, says, I suspect that it isn't tight. Motion for discovery on that claim. Oh, yikes. David Woodmansey, thank you for the super chat, says, others have said it, but I really can fix her. No, you can't. No, you don't want to try. God, isn't it terrible? Even after all this, she's still going to get dates. You people, men are stupid. You really need to ask yourself why you're so dumb.
Let's get on with it, people. My lawyer also wrote the cease and desist letter that was sent to Clayton, and I know a Redditor contacted him to confirm it, which he did. I don't fake pregnancies to trap men, which is a horrible thing to be accused of. The two documents that were leaked were never heard by the court, and were allegations by my AZ abuser in one case and by my California abuser's brother-in-law in the other. There was never a doubt that I was pregnant in either case. My Arizona abuser had the pregnancy personally confirmed to him by One Medical. My California abuser went to Planned Parenthood with me to get the abortion. He and I stayed together for 2 years afterwards. And in the transcript from the deposition, he said that he was in a relationship for me and didn't care what I decided to do about the...
And now I have to figure out how to turn the page again. Got it. Wait.
I have all the medical documentation in a Dropbox that I tried to post the other day, but took down after being bullied. So please stop acting as if there is any other story.
And the reason why people questioned it was because it was all crap. Because none of it was evidence of pregnancy. It's just her trying to make people think that.
So please stop acting as if there's any other story. You guys don't want to believe the truth, even if you're shown it because it's more entertaining to hurt me, apparently. Another theory that has been horrible is that I somehow wrote the letter from the stranger I talked about in my speech, did my TEDx, and then asked a woman to take a photo with me for my Instagram. Do you realize how insane that sounds?
Yeah, we do realize how insane that sounds. But see, you're so not credible, Laura, that we have to question every single claim you've ever made. And in fact, I did reach out to that woman. Let me check my Facebook Messenger to see if she has actually seen it or responded. So as far as I know, she has not responded, but let me check again. Yeah, no, has not seen nor responded. So I can't confirm or deny that one. But yeah, we know how insane it sounds.
As further proof, the woman wrote a declaration for me which helped me get the RO against him. I've had people message me saying they needed to see a sonogram. Clayton has already seen it.
It was fake.
And that's all that matters to me. I don't owe you guys anything, nor should I have to prove myself when I'm telling the truth. Yes, I've been pregnant, and yes, I have 2 restraining orders against vicious men. But that doesn't make me a bad person.
Oh, God. 2 vicious men. She's a lot of vicious men in her life, allegedly. Let's see. Where are we at now? I need to change. There's so many pages of this. It's insane. It's still ongoing. How many pages is this? All right.
But that doesn't make me a bad person or equate me to faking a pregnancy with Clayton. I feel sorry for those of you who have chosen to spend your precious time here simply to make a nasty comment, not caring that there is someone who will be hurt by it.
Do you think she's considered at all how hurt the people are that she does this to, and their family members, their careers? Like, she got Clayton canceled from speaking engagements. Does she consider that that hurts at all? It's all about her. This is all about her and how hurt she is.
My family has been on call since I've spent my week crying for hours over what I have read on this forum.
But there's an easy solution to that, and it's get off of Reddit and stop reading it, Laura.
I've finally come to terms with the fact that I don't need to convince the Reddit community of anything, especially when no one cares to read any of the facts, actual documents that I have responded with. The hate messages I have gotten have been atrocious. But I am extremely grateful to the small group of you who have come to me asking if I needed support and saying you believe me. Real judges have believed me based on the abundance of evidence that they've been provided with. So I will stick with respecting them and their methods over those used by Redditors who would prefer to be snarky over uncovering the truth. This has been a unique experience for me because I never understood how maddening it is to see people write falsities about you when you've presented them with evidence. It's a bad place to be. I hope you all think more before you post. As cliche as it is, put yourself in their shoes, or in this case, behind their laptop. Would you like to read that comment if it was written about you, judging by 99% of the...
Have to change pages. I wonder, though, has she considered if Clayton wanted to read what she wrote about him in the newspaper? I mean, like, what is this woman's deal?
Judging by 99% of the comments I've read, the answer is no, but I'm sure that will be lost on most of you, and instead, I will be reading comments telling me how crazy I am for spilling my heart and telling the truth.
Okay, we're finally at the end of that. Oh God. Okay. All right. I'm emotionally wiped out.
Emotional damage.
I don't know how many more of this woman's words and screeds I can read. But you notice there was no actual evidence in any of that. It's just, again, more of her narrative, more of her just verbal diarrhea that is not evidence in any way. I'm still holding out for that evidence. I'm waiting for that evidence. If any of that evidence actually exists. Yeah, I'm exhausted by it. Do you feel the exhaustion? Are you exhausted by that? Because I am. I'm waiting for the evidence to appear that any of the things that she says are real. But so far, we don't have any of that. We just have more and more evidence that it isn't real. It was never real. And this person has been abusing the court system and abusing men. And I know it's hard to believe that some women are abusers and that some women abuse men, but it's true. And many men are embarrassed to report it. They're embarrassed to talk about it. And that's the problem. That is the problem. And so when we see these stories and there's all this evidence, this plethora of evidence that men here have been on the receiving end of abuse, we need to believe them. We need to believe them because they are often not believed. Oh, speaking of not believing victims, I watched this great documentary on Netflix. It was called American Nightmare. It was a story I had never heard before. There was a woman and her boyfriend in California. They called it the Gone Girl case, where this couple was accosted in their house in the middle of the night. And the facts were so bizarre that law enforcement didn't believe them. They thought either the boyfriend did it, or then they thought that the girl who got kidnapped did it, that she kidnapped herself. And they never investigated this alleged kidnapper because he had done all these weird things, like he put goggles on them with duct tape on, like so they couldn't see, and like who uses goggles, swim goggles? That just sounded crazy. And like a flashing strobe light and like calming music. It was just this weird, so many weird details to this story. And the Vallejo police in California just did not believe it from the beginning, and they treated both of the boyfriend and the victim as liars. And I mean, it was, and then it turns out that, I mean, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, click off now. But it turns out that there really was this psycho out there doing this, like kidnapping, raping, all sorts of things. But for a very long time, they actually went public, the police did, and called her a liar and said that they were going to prosecute her. And it's just horrendous. And I think the police ought to be really ashamed of that case. They should be really ashamed of their actions in it. They never even looked into the possibility that they were telling the truth. I mean, didn't even monitor the boyfriend's phone. And he was getting text messages and emails from the kidnapper. The kidnapper was sending photographs to the media, and they still wouldn't look into it like that this was a legitimate kidnapper. So, I'm a big believer in following the evidence, and you start out believing a victim. That's the way you should always start out. You should start out by believing, and then follow that evidence down whatever rabbit hole it goes down. And if the police had actually done that in that case, they would have found a kidnapper. It was up to like another. You guys just have to watch it. You just won't believe how nuts it is, and I feel really sad for the victims in that case, because they were so ignored and ill-treated by the police. But in this case, in the Laura Owens v. Clayton Echard case, all the evidence points to Clayton Echard's side of the story. It just does. And so we need to follow that evidence trail wherever it leads. And if it leads to a woman being the abuser, well, then so be it. That's what happens. All right, guys, what's going on tomorrow? Tomorrow, I am going to be doing a True Crime Tuesday update on the Hernandez medical kidnapping case. Be back here for that. Jennifer Williams is going to be with me. She is the former foster mother. She has a lot of good news to share, a lot of updates to share. We're going to talk to her. So that'll be tomorrow at 11, a True Crime Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I will not be here. I will be on a field trip with Hangry. And Thursday, I have a new lawsuit and a lawyer coming on to talk to us about it. It is it's the first lawsuit filed in Pennsylvania against the medical kidnappings going on there, against child abuse pediatrician Deborah Asario Jensen. You guys know I've been covering Pennsylvania and the scandal with Munchausen by proxy allegations and child abuse allegations that have been proven to be false. And so someone has finally filed a lawsuit, and that I have the attorney who's going to be on with me on Thursday at 11 to discuss that case. So that's going to be great. And I hope that you guys tune back in for all of that. As usual, follow me on Locals, meganfox.locals.com. I am really trying to hit that 500 new subscribers. We are 85% of the way there. And I need, what do I need? I need you guys to use promo code Maya, MAYA, all caps, for a free month when you sign up monthly. Use promo code SQUATS for a discount of 2 months when you sign up for the entire year. And on Locals, I'm going to be doing a cooking stream probably tonight, because you guys wanted to know how to make my chicken stir fry that my kids absolutely love. And I think that's what I'm making for dinner tonight. If it is, I'm going to be doing a cooking stream on that. And then I have to also figure out how to do a Zoom exercise group with you guys with my locals only, members only stream. And we're gonna do some exercise together. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. So take care, you guys, and make sure that you like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do it now. Don't forget to visit the merch store. Plenty of fun things in there that you can support the show with. If you want to pick one of these up, they come in all kinds of things: t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of I think there's hats. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in the merch store. Go and visit that. It's in the description of the video. Oh, for Fox's Sake is a fun hoodie. Don't forget to go download Ben Shapiro's new song with Tom McDonald on iTunes just to piss off the music industry because, you know, it's fun. And we should all be fighting the narrative, whatever that narrative is. That's the I want to be on the other side of it. Whatever the prevailing narrative is, I don't want to be on it. All right, guys, take care. See you tomorrow.
I was so lost, my world is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. My friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. Oh, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye. I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye.
Johnny's problem is he should come storming in there with a string of garlic and some holy water. May the power of Christ compel you.
No, I don't.
You realized his house was infested with succubuses.
Of what? Yes.
Sucky loaders.
When you arrived in there for me. I don't remember saying it now. So
no wonder he said drown her before you burn her.
Oh my God.
Your next witness?
Now I know why you wanted to drown her.
That is
Witness
also
was in
by
Romania.
video.
Is that correct?
That begins with Miss